was like they were in like a skateboarding boarding school.
It was. Yeah. It was a tower. It was an Olympic tower, and the kids lived on a floor, and we lived in there, and I remember there was an outbreak of scabies on the floor. You know what scabies? Some medieval stuff, dude. Like,
Dude, what?
So we would get done all day with skating, and I would get in the shower, and I'd be like, taking a shower, like, wow, I'm like really dirty. Like, this is crazy. And then I looked up at the water, and it was brown. I'm like, no. So when the outbreak of scabies happened, I just started, it was all in the washing machine, so I just started washing my clothes in the sink and stuff, but it never got cleaned because the water was like super dirty.
All right, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today we have a very special guest. Christiana Means is with us. How are you?
What's up? How's it going?
Good. It's going excellent. How's everything with you?
Good. There's been great holidays recently, and living the life. I can't complain.
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
I actually was here in LA, so had a little Friendsgiving with my roommate. Just kind of held it down.
Okay.
Yeah, we picked up a Rouse chicken.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you didn't do turkey.
It's supposed to be turkey.
I know, dude. It was like
okay. Next best thing is chicken.
Chicken.
Okay.
We were just two kids trying to make a Thanksgiving.
Wait a minute. Did you get the pre-cooked chicken?
I did get the pre-cooked chicken.
Some of those are good. I'm not saying that they're not bad. Yeah, they got some of them. They got the garlic sometimes.
I don't even know how to make a turkey. That's the problem. So we just got a chicken. We were like,
that's not an easy thing.
Sweet potatoes. No,
that's not cooking a turkey is not easy.
No, it's also intimidating. The thing's huge. We're like two girls that are trying to cook. Like, we don't want to cook a gigantic turkey. Just a little chicken.
Oh, a little chicken. Okay. So you got chicken. What else did you get? Did you get any stuffing? Any my favorite cranberry out of the can. Yes. I like the cranberry out of the can.
Wait, the solid one or like
you open it and it comes out and it looks like a can still. I love that.
The jellied kind?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we had stuffing, we had cranberry sauce, sweet potatoes, green beans, and we did like Hawaiian little bunion things. That was a good one. Oh, I was
Hawaiian bunions?
Like Hawaiian buns.
Those are good.
Yeah,
King's Hawaiian.
Yeah,
those are the go-tos.
Yeah. And we made little sandwiches after Thanksgiving was done.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
Little sliders.
My mouth is watering already. I'm starving.
It was good.
Amazing. Because you just got back from Barcelona, right? We were talking about Barcelona before the show started. And that was your first time in Barcelona, which is crazy to me.
So good. Yeah.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It really is.
People who skate who haven't been to Barcelona yet, is just, you can't explain enough how crazy of like a skate scene it is. There are spots and...
it's a culture out there.
Culture.
It's a legitimate like culture,
really
and it's
is.
so different than like here in the States. I feel like it's has a whole different vibe to it, and I was really really stoked to be out there for that long. Spent like almost 2 months there.
And it's not even enough. Were you on your own time there? Did you have to were you just not on a tour or like a filming mission or what was?
So it was actually pretty random the way I ended up in Barcelona. I went to Germany for like the Red Bull pool drop-in, that big roller coaster one over the lake. So I went there, and my flight actually got canceled. It was like right after they had that blackout with the flights.
Ooh,
yeah.
Damn.
So my flight totally got canceled, and they didn't have a flight out until like 4 days. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. My friends were like, hey, we're going to go to this contest in Spain. You should come. I was like, well, I don't want to chill here in Germany. So I went over there and then found some cheap flights from there to Barcelona. And I just kind of I don't know, I just took some time to explore. And 4 days in Barcelona turned into 6 weeks. Wow. So a little bit more than 6 weeks.
I love that.
That's super sick.
It got my heart, dude. So good.
I miss it out there.
Did you explore a bunch out there, like skate spots, or do you skate like the same spots pretty much?
No, we went all over. We went south. We went up to like Barcelona and Barceloneta. We did check out a lot of the parks there, and then like his spots. So, by the second week, I had blisters all over my feet. I was just skating so much, it was ridiculous. And you don't drive, you walk. So we're walking, skating all day, walking and doing it again the next day. And I feel like I got like a really good experience of a lot of Barcelona.
But how good do you feel on your board? when you are just constantly skateboarding and you feel like you're
Definitely.
I mean, out here it's different. We drive, we get out of the car, we skate.
Yeah.
We drive, we get out of the car, we
Yeah.
skate.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
the best.
I feel like we would go to a spot, take the train and walk, and by the time we got there, I was already warmed up because we had just been walking and having fun, pushing our boards, and yeah, it was really cool. The marble.
Oh, nuts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Winkle show you around?
I actually didn't get to run into Winkle.
Okay.
But I did hit him up on Instagram, and everyone was just kind of busy, like the end of summer and stuff. But Dennis Ludman is out there, and Winkle, and
Okay.
a couple of the filmers.
So who showed you around?
I linked up with Damia Torenzo. He's a filmer. He just did like a thing with like Leo Romero, and some stuff out in France.
Dope.
But anyways, he's a really good filmer. He showed me around a lot. My friend Alex. I made really good, like, there's so many girls out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like really surprised by. We would go to Makbo and there'd be like at least 5 to 10 girls out there.
That's
I'm like,
sick.
wow.
That's actually one of the first places that I would travel to that I saw like a lot of women skateboarding. Because you don't, I mean, back then, we're talking about
Yeah.
like 15, 20 years ago.
That was
Has that, we're going to
Been-
Barcelona
I mean,
that
that's-
long, Dubs?
Maybe 15.
2004, I think, is the first time I went. But you were guys. I had seen footage of you guys already there at that
Yeah,
point.
but it wasn't a big thing out here,
Yeah.
right? So when you go out there, I'm like, damn, there's girls just skating here. It's
they
like
rip.
super sick.
Yeah, they were like doing some cool stuff
Super
on the
good.
ledges and good flat ground. I was like, wow. I love seeing girls, so it's like I was like making friends and running around Makbo saying hi to everybody, and yeah,
It's such a good time out there.
Man.
yeah.
Did you go to Manolo, the bar out there?
I did not go to.
You don't know Manolo?
Wait. I actually,
Hold on.
I think I've heard about this bar, and I think
Yeah.
it closed down.
No, it
Did it?
didn't.
Yeah,
No.
I think it closed
Yeah,
down.
it's like a skate
yeah,
bar.
someone told me about the skate bar,
Yeah.
and they said they totally closed
Well,
it.
there was a
It like
couple skate
after-
bars out
Betty
there.
Ford
Yeah.
was the other one.
Betty
Betty
Ford.
Ford?
Wasn't that bigger? Though?
Better Ford's like right around the corner. From
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew like
Oh, yeah.
Manolo was the
Yeah.
original skate
That was
bar.
that was the
I
OG
think
spot.
that was the one. If I'm not mistaken,
That could
one
be
of
right,
those
yeah.
closed down.
Really?
But I remember my friend
Damn.
pointing to me at the like flat that it was in, and they're like, "Yeah, they used to be like the best place. Everyone would go to it.
Wow.
Now it doesn't exist."
That
but
sucks.
I think COVID was kind of
Probably a big part of that, for sure.
Damn, if it closed down, it was the best. We'd stand there, people would be dumping water on you because they, when you're making a lot
Yeah.
of noise, the residents, they don't like it.
They
So
throw
they-
eggs.
That was fun.
Eggs. I never got hit, so it was fun.
Yeah. People definitely get annoyed for that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But they had skate videos going all, and they
yeah.
they would have like one video. If you were there for like 2 months, they would have like one video playing the entire time.
Whoa.
I got to see Foundation, That's Life. I got to know it from the front to back very easily. Yeah, but yeah,
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any. If there's
Like, watch this leaf fall right there.
Yeah.
You know everything.
He pops here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad you had a good time out there. I'm glad you got to experience it.
Thank you.
And because, like you said, every skateboarder, if you skate, you need to go to
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Oh, it's a
It
necessary
is-
thing.
It is necessary.
We would be pushing to spots, and we'd be pushing to the spot, passing spots, and I'm like, oh my god, like can we skate this? I'm like, no, that's a crappy spot.
Something's-
Like,
They're like, stay focused. Come on.
there's a better
keep
spot
going.
over
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's rails and hubbas and stairs and everything you can think of is
Yeah.
just so nice. Yeah, and like different things, like
Especially for your first time. I mean, you're taking it all in. So you're just like enamored by everything you see.
yeah.
You know?
I definitely, by the time I left, I was like, my body's blown.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at my skateboard for just a little bit, and then like I'll be fine. So
You need to reset.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Rock Hill, South Carolina,
South Carolina.
South Kakalaki.
How did you even get into skating then?
Yeah. So I was always like a super adventurous kid. My dad snowboarded, and he was a single father, so the only way my dad could snowboard was if he got me into snowboarding. So he would take me up to the mountain. I was
Oh,
like,
because he wanted to go snowboarding.
Yeah.
He had you, so
Yeah.
he was like, "I need to
You're
get
coming
her.
with
me.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get her a little snowboard
yeah,
kit."
yeah, totally. So he really like introduced kind of like the extreme board sport at the time.
What age was that?
I was like, I got my probably like 8. I was really
Oh, wow.
young. I was
Amazing.
really young. So yeah, so I started snowboarding around then, and I think okay, we were like driving in our neighborhood, and I saw this little boy like roll off his driveway on a skateboard, and I was like, yo, I want to do that. Like, Dad, can I try that? And he's in his brain, he's like, oh yeah, it'd be great for snowboarding. She'll get better. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so he bought me a snowboard and a skateboard like 1 year for Christmas. I think it was like 9.
Do you remember what skateboard he bought you? Was it like a Kmart or Walmart board, or
No.
was it like a legit?
I actually got a Powell Golden Dragon board.
A Powell Golden Dragon.
Yeah, I remember
at
the graphic
that.
and everything.
Wait, this is full circle now because
Yeah.
now you skate for Powell.
Yeah. No, like I actually called my dad. I was like, Dad, was my first board a Powell Golden Dragon? He's like, yeah, it is. He's like, oh, like I just got on Powell. This
No
is so
way.
crazy.
Yeah.
So like a full circle. Yeah.
Did you still have it? The board
I
or no?
don't,
Oh, okay.
sadly. But it was the like Golden Dragon one with the blue diamond. It was like a complete that you could get.
I don't remember that. I'm not a big graphic Powell. Maybe Roger could pull it up and see what it was.
Yeah.
But
It
what
was-
year was this?
So, 9. So
2005.
2005. Yeah. It was like
Wow.
when I got my first board.
Damn.
Yeah.
And did you just fall in love with it right away, or did you?
I was snowboarding a lot, and I think probably right about like 10, 11. Yeah, so it was
That's it?
basically that board,
Okay.
but blue
Oh, blue graphic.
Yeah.
Or blue
on the back.
paint.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, it was so sick.
Well, we
I
can
loved
get it for you if you want. It's $34.95.
Oh,
It's not
wow,
that,
that's
it's not that
actually
much. It's a complete too.
dang, that's super low for a complete. If you need a complete, that's the one to get.
That's okay.
Damn, $35. I guess it's the Cyber Monday sale.
Oh, it might be the
Extended
summer.
review.
This is no, it's Tuesday.
Yeah,
They didn't switch their website.
I was about to say decks are like $60 now. That's like half price for just a board. That's like pretty
It's,
good.
it's getting expensive.
Yeah.
Everything
But-
must go.
Yeah.
I like snowboarded a lot. I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of just pushing a driveway. Like it was more of like a toy at that point. And I think right around 11, like 5th grade, I was like, I'm a skater. I want to be a skater, and I'm rocking DVSs and
Mm-hmm.
like was full on little skate punk at that time.
Looking at magazines, watching videos. Like how was there other kids that you were linking up with that were skating?
So we had like a little indoor park. Actually, it wasn't a little indoor park. It was a good indoor park in my hometown. Had like skate light and everything, but I was just so far out in South Carolina. I didn't really watch video parts.
Okay, okay.
I didn't get the chance to really get my hands on like magazines or. I had a computer, but we shared it in the house, so like I didn't even know what to look up for skate videos, you know. So, I feel like my video part knowledge and all that stuff, I'm a little behind. Like
Uh-huh.
I didn't start learning until I was probably like 18, trying to like dig into this.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember sitting behind the skate park desk, like when all the guys were watching some stuff, and I watched Cheese and Crackers
Ooh.
with
damn.
Daewon and
Okay.
yeah, so
Haslam?
yeah, yep.
yeah.
So I was just like a little kid behind the counter, like trying to take peeks at the computer when they were watching stuff.
So you're just watching other people skate, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And learning from them. Which is
Yep.
kind of it's 50-50, you know, because I feel like with watching videos, you can see and kind of analyze it a little bit more, but watching somebody skate in person is like,
Yeah.
That's still just
it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just as good. I mean, obviously, when you're watching a video, it's done in a certain way so you could kind of
Yeah, it's
be
the-
entertained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's done its best it could possibly be done to show, like in a video.
Yeah.
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 So,
Well, when I first started watching skate videos, I didn't even think that anybody fell. Like, I thought
No
I thought
way.
everybody was like good.
Yeah, I guess you're
Well, they
right.
are good, but
Yeah.
like, you know, I thought they.
It does look something like totally like some movie stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa,
yeah.
super pristine. And we had skaters, like we had like a pretty small like skate scene, but I remember the guys that were older than me, I definitely looked up to them like, oh my god, they're gods. Like they're so good. Like someone could do like a tray flip over the pyramid in our indoor park, and I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Or and as like a kid, I don't think I really realized like the skate videos I was watching was actually real life, you know.
Oh,
Like,
interesting.
I was so young,
Yeah.
you know. It was just
It's like fantasy thing you're watching.
yeah. I don't think it really clicked with me to dig into skate vids, but I remember when I was like 13 or 14, my mom's friend's boyfriend gave me, he was like, oh, you skate, like here, you should take all these skate videos, and he gave me like a stack of skate videos. And there was like some DC tours in there was like a creature video I had, I did have. I remember Bootleg 3000 because it was the first time I saw Elissa Steamer on it, and that was pretty cool. I was like, I think those were the first kind of videos that really like sank in. Like, okay, like this is like a part of what we do, you know?
Is it the first time you saw another girl skating?
100%.
Seriously, yeah.
I remember she was like pushing, and I thought she was like a boy, and then her shirt pushed back, and I was like, oh, that's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm interested now. Like, what's going on? So,
Up until then, you were just with the guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just me. Yeah, I was.
No skate girls in your crew or at the park or nothing.
It was just me. It was
Okay.
me and the boys.
Held it down.
Was there any like any people that came out of there, any like good skaters?
What we had. This is Justin Brock.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Justin Brock came
for
out of
sure.
there.
Hell yeah, dude.
But it was such a small town that like we were so far from everything. We had a couple people who were like hitting some big stuff and filming, and they just couldn't break through. You know, I think like the small town vibe like is really hard to balance with like being like trying to get up to like get a branch out. You know, but yeah, there was no other girls. I actually remember hearing rumors of a girl that was 3 hours away. Like
Okay.
Rumors.
rumors, yeah, rumors, and
Through the grapevine.
one girl was floating out there, and there was a contest. I remember running into her, and I was like, "Oh my god, I found her!" So I ran up to her, and I was like, "Hey," and she was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Okay, sick,
Very friendly.
Yeah.
She to give you that energy.
yeah, I don't know. I think we were both like two Bigfoots. You know, we were like the two girls, and just we didn't even know how to interact with each other. We were like, well,
Interesting.
yeah. So
Do you remember her name or do you?
her name was Lainey Kisser.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
stuck in my brain.
Wow.
So yeah, I was just like, I was probably like 12, hanging out with a bunch of other little skate boys, and I remember at first I would tuck my hair in my hat and just hoped that nobody recognized that I was a girl.
Really?
Yeah, I was getting like hazed. It was pretty rough at one point. I remember I was like skating back on a mini ramp, and this boy told his little brother to stick his board out in front of me to make me fall to see if I'd cry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of happening, and then I eventually just got fed up with one day. I just started beating up boys. Like,
Perfect way to
beating them up,
handle
like-
it. Yeah.
yeah,
You know
not
what?
terribly. Like I wasn't a vicious kid, but like once they started messing with me, I was like, I'm tired of this. Like I definitely laid out some boys.
Yeah. They brought it out of you.
yeah. But it also pushed me, you know. So
Yeah, that's true.
the boys would be like, "Oh, you can't do that," and I'd be like, "I can,"
Right.
and I would do it. And so I think it was I didn't really know the difference between like I was a girl and they were boys. I just knew that I was a little bit different. Like they treated me a little bit different, but I also just got used to it. And then once I kind of like established myself, people would just be like, "Oh yeah, that's Tiana." That's what they called me. In my hometown is Tiana.
Oh, Tiana. Okay.
Yeah, so-
At first, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so Christiana,
Yeah,
Tiana.
Tiana. Yeah. So that's cool. So then you finally, what age did you start getting like good?
I remember I started doing little local contests at 13.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 and
Okay.
13. We had like Skate Park of Greenville. They would do contests that was about like 2.5 hours away. You know, we live close to like Raleigh, North Carolina. Where else?
Are you going street skating at this point, or just parks and stuff?
I think I remember like skating off some little ledges, and we had a college by our in the hometown, but it was like insane spots. You know, we
Yeah.
had like a 10 rail that people would talk about, and so mostly was just in skate parks. We would push around the neighborhood, but we would just try and find things like stairs, but our hometown really didn't have much. Like,
Okay.
we're talking about like where my house was, we had a population of 3,000 people. Yeah. So
Little town.
little town, farms, gravel roads, trailer
wow.
parks. Yeah, like people learned how to drive manuals from tractors, you know? So like
Pulling up to the DMV to take their test.
yeah.
Were you like, as a kid, were you looking into being a pro skater, or were you just skating and just messing around?
I think the pros, like when being like, oh, I want to do this, it happened really young, but I didn't really like put a lot of thought power into it, like, oh, this could actually happen. But yeah, I've always, like, that was my first dream, like, oh, I want to be a skater. Like, I don't know how it's gonna work, but I want to be a skater.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Snowboarding just kind of phased out pretty quick.
Yeah, I did it a lot, like, up until I was probably like 16, 17. Me and my dad, it was always like our thing to do. But it just got expensive, you know, like, you can't just hit the mountain whenever. You gotta buy a lift and a board and all this stuff. So as I got older and started doing more things, snowboarding just kind of started to fade away. I still love it though. I love like snowboarding, and it's just expensive. It's so expensive.
What's your best trick on
tour.
the board? With
On the
snowboard?
snowboard?
Yeah, what's your best
Oh,
trick?
I can like throw 360s for sure over
over
everything.
over little tabletops and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can like hit jumps 360s and do like butters and
Butters.
yeah, do butters like when
Okay.
you lean back on your tail.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know
like
anything
hit a
about
box.
butters. I know rodeo. Okay, is it rodeo? Is that is that a big thing?
I think that's like
Yeah?
a big half pipe trick.
Okay, you don't
Yeah.
do the rodeos.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the butters.
that I cannot do.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no rodeos.
Was your dad pretty good?
He's really good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could skate. He could skate. He could snowboard, like switch, do a bunch of tricks. Yeah, that was like a big identity for him for a long time.
Is he doing butters too?
He was doing
Yeah.
butters. Yeah, he's doing good
I like that
butters.
name. That's a good
Yeah.
name. We
That's a
need
good
a
name.
butters in skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad was really a big inspiration for kind of expanding my like interest in that stuff. And was really supportive. So he had a bunch of skate friends at the time too, and I think he knew enough about skating like physics to kind of help me out with it. So we would snowboard, and then I do remember him teaching me like my first ollies and like how to pop, how to keep my feet on and stuff. And he was a little hesitant to bring me to the skate park until I had kind of gotten down like my basics, you know. So
That makes sense.
but yeah, it was a really good time growing up. You know, we would hit the mountain every other weekend in the wintertime. We would blow snow if it got cold enough, and make little like tracks down like our hills and stuff.
Really?
And set up rails. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I love South Carolina. It's like full 4 seasons. It was small enough where I didn't get in trouble, but I learned like my family. We had a great like we stuck together, and it was a good place to grow up. Really.
Okay.
I'm not like upset about like growing up in South Carolina. You know, I just had to go. You know?
You have brothers and sisters?
No, it's just me.
Oh, okay.
Just you.
Yeah.
Only child.
Only child.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You got anything you wanted?
I had divorced parents, and I got everything I wanted, and I had 2 of everything. So
Okay.
I was pretty like lucky. And my dad does have kids now, so hey,
There's you and your
that's
dad
my
right there. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, hi.
Oh.
Yeah,
He
was,
does look like a snowboarder.
dude. He was so cool.
No, I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
a snowboarder.
No, he's cool. Yeah, we would grow our hair out, and he had like these springy curls, and he would pick it up into a fro. He could longboard too. He's like super
Okay. Cool dad.
Cool dad. Yeah, he was like my best friend. So
Where was your mom the whole time? You had to, because you said you had 2 of everything.
Yeah.
You traveled around, I guess, from back and forth.
my mom, my parents got married like really young, and they had me like really young. Like my mom was 15, my dad was about to turn 19.
Wow.
Yeah, so super young parents. My mom is from the Philippines.
Okay.
So, yeah, my grandmother jumped ship from a cruise ship. She was working there, and she landed in South Carolina, got married, and then petitioned my mom to come from the Philippines.
Okay.
So they met in high school. They had a relationship for a little bit, and then they parted ways. So, and then my dad got custody of me, like full custody of me. So, yeah. And I would see my mom every other weekend. My parents would drive. My mom lived in Georgia. I lived in South Carolina, and we would drive 2 hours each direction to meet in the middle and exchange me. So it was like I got to see South Carolina. I got to see Georgia a little bit at the time. And at the time, it was nice because I didn't have a lot to skate in South Carolina. So when I would go to her place, I would also skate there. And but yeah, my mom was great too. She's just had a little bit different of an experience as like a parent, but she was always there, and she actually I think without my mom's help with like child support and stuff, I probably wouldn't have had the most like I wouldn't have skateboards and snowboards and stuff. So with my dad being a single parent, it really helped like give me a lot. And just to explore as being a kid.
When you go out to Georgia, was there like a better skate scene out there? Better parks? I mean, it's a bigger city, right?
Better park.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bigger city.
She lived in like in the main city? Like
she lived in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to Atlanta would be,
Yeah.
that's a bigger scene for sure.
Way bigger scene. And-
Sticks going to the, you know, big
Yeah.
city.
I mean, it was still like southern belt, which was funny. But yeah, that's my mom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
at
killing
that.
it with her bangs.
Look at, I know.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So, okay, so yeah, you go into the bigger city and exploring the bigger city. How old were you? You were skating when you were going back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Where you just started?
So we always exchanged. So right around like 5. So my dad had me sole custody. And then at 5 is when they did like a custody battle.
Oh.
Yeah. So then my mom
took it to the courts.
Yeah, took it to the
Okay.
courts. So they decided, okay, like you live far, how can we work this out? Let's do every other weekend. We can drive in the middle. And I remember meeting my mom kind of for the first time. Like it was cool, and I didn't really quite understand why we were trading. So I think it like caused me to kind of freak out every time they dropped me off. Like I didn't know like when was I coming back?
Confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going over here, then you're going over here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew like she's my mom. I looked like her, and because my dad was like, you know, he's like American, like Caucasian, and his whole family was very Caucasian too. So when I saw my mom, it's like, okay, cool. Like she looks like me, you know, Filipino. She really got to keep my Filipino bloodline going.
You're getting that
So-
heritage being with her.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So there was never like a disconnect. I just wasn't quite understanding the driving and traveling. But yeah, so we did that since I was like 5. And then, you know, I started skating. And then that's when I kind of started asking my mom, like, hey, like, can I go to the skate park? Like, I looked one up, like, there's one, like, you know, 10 minutes from here. And she was really, like, she didn't know, like, she didn't want her daughter to skate. She didn't, like, you know, she didn't know how to, like, do that. So, you know, I'd go out there and, like, fall a lot. And she's just like, oh, my God, like, what am I doing? Like, so it actually took my mom a long time to get on the skateboard thing than my dad. But she eventually, like, she would take me to the skate park and drop me off.
Okay.
And pick me up. And
She realized that this is something you loved.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted to do.
yeah. And I was always, like, a really adventure kid. Like, I used to race, like, dirt bikes when I was little.
Okay. Motorized.
Yeah.
Not,
Ying.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about like how would you communicate? Like, do you speak Philippine?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that how you communicate with her normally? But when you were a kid, or did you learn it when you were young?
No, she's duolingual. She did try and teach me, and so she would teach me little words here, and now I've gotten better by like practicing on my own. But yeah, so we could speak a little bit. She's definitely way more fluent than I am. Like,
Yeah. Well, so you guys just speak in English then.
yeah, we just
Okay.
speak in English, so it's cool. But
Have you been to the Philippines?
I have, yeah, I have.
Nice. Got to check it out, huh?
It was, yeah, Philippines is amazing. If any of you guys know about Filipinos, we're just like super nice and
Super dope. I went to the Manila and it was beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Had a good time.
Well, crazy. Manila's wild.
Where'd you go?
So I've definitely been to Manila. Been down to the Southern Island too, in Mindanao. And yeah, it's just, man, the culture's so nice. They welcome everybody. They're like, their family is everything. The food is so good. If you guys have Filipino friends, like,
Oh, yeah.
try
Clairvaux.
Bomb.
Clairvaux.
Clairvaux, yes.
Daniel
yes.
Castillo.
Yeah.
Daniel
Yeah.
Castillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you recommend people to go if they were going to go to the Philippines?
Ooh, you should go check out Cebu, where Margie's from.
Oh, yeah.
Land.
Margie did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's really great islands, good water. It's away from the major city, which is really hectic. But like small enough where you can get around and still enjoy a little bit of city, good vibes, good beaches,
Yeah, there's sick
surfing.
beaches out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sick. Okay,
Like,
cool.
Blue water.
I'm gonna book a ticket.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and once so like the ticket is expensive, but once you get over there, it's so cheap. You can live like a king over there.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was like tripping on. I was like, wow, you could have maids and shit for like dirt cheap. I was like, are you serious? This is how they live out here? And like it's modest, like, you know,
Yeah.
people like that don't have much, but they have it's
Yeah.
pretty. I was impressed.
They don't have much, but man, they are so grateful for everything they have.
Big time.
Yeah, and like I think, so it's like $1 here is 50 pesos for them. So you can get like a 5-star hotel for like $100. You know, you can in the main city. You can like go take boat rides and go snorkeling and surf and
Wow.
All the
eat
activities and
tons
stuff.
of food. Yeah. Swim with whale sharks.
Whale sharks.
I haven't been to Cebu yet, which I actually really want to. Like next time I want to go check out the islands, but Manila's amazing. They just built a new skate park in the northern part of the island, and then in Davao, in Mindanao, the southern island, we just built a skate park there too.
There,
Yeah.
it's coming up, huh?
Yeah, so it's just a little bit. You know?
I wonder if it's got to be the Olympics, right? Or
Yeah.
are they just embracing skateboarding? Maybe.
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a good sport for the Philippines because I don't know, it's like easy to do and attainable, you know, like
Well, with Margie, you could see her kind of growing up there, and
Yeah.
she just found a skateboard and got it like from her friend, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's easily accessible, and but didn't you end up? You were representing the Philippines for the Olympics, right?
yeah, I am. Yeah, and I still am.
Still am. Okay.
Yeah, so me and Margie are teammates,
That's
and this is actually a really crazy story. So I like backtrack. Hold on.
No, go ahead, please.
So, when 2018 is when like kind of the whole talks, like you could hear rumors like, oh, the Olympics, it's coming up. People are making teams, like, you know, what's gonna happen. So I talked to Lisa Whitaker from Meow Skateboards, and I asked her, I was like, hey, you know, like, do you think this is a good idea? Like, should I do like the U.S., you know? And she's like, well, there's a lot of U.S. girls, you know, maybe, you know, you're half Filipino, maybe see if like the Philippines is doing something. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, you know, like I'm just over here, you know? So I kind of reached out to some like basketball teams, I think, in the Philippines. Crazy enough.
Okay.
And I was just asking, I was like trying to get a feel out of, are you guys starting something? Do you happen to know of anybody who's starting? Like, who could I talk to see if anybody knows about if the Philippines will be involved with skating?
Okay.
And crazy enough, like, I think a month goes by and Aunt Clarabelle hits me up. And Aunt Clarabelle just hit me up because he saw that I had a half Filipino, half emoji, like half a Filipino and American emoji on my bio.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of was just like, hey, we're trying to get some Filipino girls together. We want to do a skate trip. We want to, you know, see what we can get started. And I just straight out of the bat was like, hey, I want to skate for the Philippines. Like, I'm looking for this.
Let's cut the chase.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't got to go on any skate tours, Clarabelle. Let's do it. Know who you are.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that before he messaged me, he had already talked to Lisa. He talked to. Do you guys know who Kurt Hayashi is?
Yeah. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That's my guy. I love him so much. I just knew a lot of people that Ant knew, and he reached out to a lot of them beforehand and was kind of asking about me. And but yeah, right out of the bat, I was like, dude, I want to be on the Philippines team. Like, let me know if you guys are starting something. I'm really interested.
Yeah.
So 2018, I happened to get invited to a Chinese contest, and it was the first like feel for the Olympics. It was like iOS in Nanjing, China. They invited a whole bunch of guys and girls everywhere, and they paid for everything to go there. So went there, did the contest, and maybe like 2 weeks after, they reached out and they were like, hey, you're really awesome. We would like you to come out here and be a coach for the Chinese Olympic team. And I was like, but what does that mean? You know? So
Well, because you want to be in the Olympics, and being
Yeah.
a coach, is that a conflict of interest? Are you not going to be able to go to the Philippines? Like, there's questions there, right?
yeah, and I was like, should I tell them I want to be on the Philippines team? Like, and I forgot one of the guys who was coordinating all of it. He was really cool with me, and I just straight told him, I was like, hey, like, I think there might be a potential for me to get on the Philippines team, but I want to be honest so that it's not a conflict of interest for you guys, you know? So, and I think luckily, like, the Olympics hadn't really started then. So they actually worked with me. So I told them, I was like, hey, I'm interested in being a coach. You know, we can talk about pay, and I want to do it for only this amount of time. And then I'm going to go from there to the Philippines. So I went out there.
We're talking about living in China.
Yes.
And doing the coaching thing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So they agreed to. I went and flew out there to Nanjing, China, with Dan Weilman. Do you know anybody?
Yeah.
So Dan Weilman was the head coach at the time, and we went out there, and I trained the Chinese Olympic team for 3 months. And it was a really cool experience. It was also really insane. Yeah.
How is it insane?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
what-
Like the work ethics, or how? What?
It just was a totally different approach than what I had seen skateboarding evolve to.
Okay.
I want to know. Yeah, were there kids that are just finding skateboarding that already skated, or they like did? I had heard they had chosen kids to do it.
So the
Wow.
Chinese government is insane. They, sorry.
Nah, you can say that.
Yeah. It was brutal. So they took a bunch of kids, like 200 kids from a whole bunch of different sports all over the province of China. And they brought them in, and they just did tests, skateboard tests with them. Like, okay, here's a skateboard. Let's see how fast you can push from here to there. Or, like, I don't even know what type of tests you could run.
They're
for
gauging
kids.
if that person could stand on the board, if they can push. Do they how quickly can they adapt to
Yeah.
this
So they took
piece of
kids-
wood with wheels on it?
They took kids from like cheerleading, gymnastics, karate, soccer, anything that they thought would be a good transition from there to skateboarding. They brought them all in, tested them, and then they summed it down to about 30 to 50 kids. So they did all that. All those kids went back to their sports.
Sure.
And so they took these guys. And the way China does it is they have programs. So they pretty much tell the parents, hey, we're going to take your child and we're going to pay you so that we can take them and train them so that they can get a gold medal for us. And these kids are young. And they sign a contract. And like they kind of lose a lot of privileges in the you know, so
They're- Go ahead.
No,
This is crazy because their parents are getting paid. The kids now, it just because like I discovered skateboarding, you discovered skateboarding. We did it because we loved it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we fell in love with it. Now, listen, some of these kids may fall in love with it
Yeah.
because they got
May.
put in the position.
Yeah.
Right? They may, but
Yeah.
they may not.
yeah.
It's just a super unorthodox way to, especially for skaters. Like, I mean, again, like you were saying, like we found the skateboarding and it hit us like
a
something
natural
special
way,
in a
yeah.
natural way. And then to see them kind of just be forced into some, just to go get a medal is just crazy to me.
Yeah, just to
So
compete,
wild.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's an
Solely.
interesting way. So wait, yeah, how do you teach them how to skate?
This is where it kind of got a little rough for me. And so out of all those kids, they happened to find one like golden goose. It was a girl. Her name's Zoe.
Oh, she rips, dude. She
I
rips.
taught her how to do kickflips and stuff. Like
Zoe who? What?
Zoe Wang. Wait.
I don't remember her last name.
Zoe. She's in
Okay.
SLS and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She rides for Red Bull.
Jesus.
She was in the Olympics too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she like came at 50s hubbas and stuff like that. She's gnarly.
Did you see the clip of her recently? She did like a gap to back tail down this rail in China. Oh my god, she's so good now.
Sick. I didn't see that, but that's awesome.
That's sick.
So from 2018, she's been skating. So they happened to find one golden goose, which was Zoe, and she was just naturally talented on a skateboard, and her fear was really good. But as far as the other kids, you can definitely see a separation in level.
Yeah.
And we would have to make them skate and
That's
scared and like
Make them skate
make them skate every
Like-
day for 6 hours.
for 6 hours.
Every day for 6 hours, we had to make them skate. Like, and not just make them skate, but so, you know, like you're learning an ollie, right?
Yeah.
So some of the girls, I was like specifically there for the girls. They would take a girl that learned how to ollie, and they would take a bank, right? And then they would put a board on top of the bank, and then you have to ollie over the board into the bank.
Oh,
After
That's
just learning,
so scary.
that is sketchy for sure.
after
It's
just learning how to ollie,
Yeah.
you go now. You got
Yeah,
to go
but
ollie.
who's calling that? Like, who's making that decision that that's what they got to do next?
These Chinese coaches that
Wow.
didn't really skate.
So
And
you're
that's another thing. Like, they don't even skate. And
Yeah.
they're telling them, okay, you need to do this
Yeah.
in order to.
Dan was the only one that skated, and he was like trying to like put together this program and stuff.
Well, Dan, he's a very like he grew up skating the same
Yeah.
generation as you guys, maybe,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
for sure. And he's very like loves old school skateboarding. Was there like a fight back of like how to train or teach kids?
But the thing that Dan,
Yeah.
is it Dan, Christiana, like they would train him in a different way. They didn't want that. They wanted rapid acceleration.
No,
Super.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, did you have to fight back to tell him like, hey, this is a genuinely better way to start? Like,
yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, we would try, and we would tell them like, dude, there was girls that were crying, and I would tell them like, like they'd be like, you have to tell them to do this, and I'm like, oh, like, and then I'd be like, come on, you got it, you just do what you did on flat ground, and then she would go in the ramp and roll her ankle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is against my morals, I feel like cruel to these kids, and I mean, we did fight back for like, okay, Sundays off. Give them 1 day of rest,
They were every day, 7 days a week,
It was
6 hours a day.
It was every single day, and then
This
they
is
had
psycho.
Sundays off.
Okay.
So, and man, it was rough. Like, like Zoe for the first time she was gonna hit a rail was a 10-stair rail. Like she not her first rail, but the time came up to where she had to hit the big rail in the park.
Go on.
And
Go
yeah,
on.
oh my god!
Like,
And she
what
was
are we
so
talking
scared,
about?
and she also she finally did it, and then got broke off, and I was like, I think I'm going to skateboard hell. Like I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
No, that must be a lot of pressure and definitely different type of feelings for you for sure.
It I felt bad for them. I felt like I was getting numbed out, and then also to think about like some of these kids, they hadn't really seen their parents or talked to their parents, so you would just kind of not bring up the topic of parents so they wouldn't get upset.
It was like they were in like a skateboarding boarding school.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a tower. It was an
Yeah.
Olympic tower, and the kids lived on a floor, and we lived in there, and I remember there was an outbreak of scabies on the floor. You know
Oh
what
my-
scabies? Some medieval stuff, dude. Like, oh.
Dude, what?
So we would get done all day with skating, and I would get in the shower, and I'd be like, taking a shower, like, wow, I'm like really dirty. Like, this is crazy. And then I looked up at the water, and it was brown. I'm like, no. So when the outbreak of scabies happened, I just started, it was all in the washing machine, so I just started washing my clothes in the sink and stuff, but it never got cleaned because the water was like super dirty. Dude, there's so much stuff.
Okay.
Wow. Wait, and how long was this program for?
It was just 3 months for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 months, you were done. You were out. But you were getting
Yeah.
paid. You were free room and board, food. I would assume everything.
Yeah,
so.
everything was taken care of.
Was the pay good?
Yeah, I was just
The pay was pretty good. Yeah, like for 3 months of my time and my morals.
Dude. What
Yeah.
about? Did you show them like skate videos or magazines and stuff?
I did. I actually, that's kind of where I like made up for it. Like I showed them a lot of skating, and I showed them other girls. I tried to make it fun. So when we were training, I would try and like show them a funner way of skating. Like especially the girls who were kind of progressing. Like, okay, cool. Like
Maybe
you're not-
showing interest into skating also.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and I did ask some of the girls like, do you like skating? And they're
Right.
like, yeah, we like it way more than what we were doing. I'm like, okay, cool, like, nice. Like,
okay.
So,
So that's a win.
yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
and as bad as the program was, they have had really good girls come out of it. So all the girls that I trained are now doing like blunts down rails,
That's
and
amazing.
like they're really good, and
Right.
it's just a different way of doing it that is completely different. Like,
the
so
approach, yeah.
these girls have never been out on the street skating or with their friends skating or experiencing the things that we did when we first fell in love with skating. And we actually did a contest in Wheels of Fortune in Seattle. So Zoe came out to that, and Dan was like, yo, can you please can Zoe be a part of your group and like hang out with you guys, like so she can kind of experience some of this stuff? I'm like, yeah, dude, like of course. So that was like her first time skating with other girls and trying to tell her like, hey, it's not that serious. Just relax, have fun. Like it's a fun weekend. You know, it's not training.
Imagine skating where you're like your
Training.
thought process is to always get like
win
better and always progress. I mean, you want to progress as a skateboarder.
Yeah.
But at that same time, we have that having fun and being relaxed.
But and then they discover it later.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
wait a minute. This is not just
Dude,
a gold medal.
Yeah.
This is like a thing.
Yeah.
I farted around on a skateboard for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Like I just pushed and I skated and I laughed with friends and we all watched each other fall over and
Crazy.
on your own accord. Like
on
that.
my own accord. Yeah. So that was a really crazy experience. So so after that we did go to like Bali, like Indonesia with the team. That was really cool. So we were doing like skate missions and like kind of getting them out of China. It was really cool. So I got a free trip to Bali,
There you
Indonesia.
go.
Out of
There
that.
you
That
go.
was pretty fun.
But other than all that, I mean, like there was good
That came from it.
that
Yeah.
came from some of the bad. Is that
I
where we're-
really
is where
think
we're
that
at?
Dan Wildman does the best that he can for those skaters.
Yeah,
and
good.
we did. Who's the guy on Sour? His last name Barney
Page?
Barney
Barney
Page.
Page,
Barney
yeah.
Page. He was also there with me.
Oh.
I think Candy Jacob also came out there as a coach.
Okay.
So I think without those people, it would have been a totally different world. I think that's like the light of it is they had really good people to kind of like watch after them.
I wonder if the program has grown since then, because we're talking about. This is the first iteration of countries getting involved in skateboarding, and it's China and bringing people in.
Yeah, for
and
sure. China was the
hopefully
first one.
now it's better. Are they still bringing people in for tests and stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's-
Well, Danny Wainwright, he's a coach.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo Peterson, I don't know if he still is.
I don't think he
Yeah.
is.
Okay,
but I think he was.
It's cool that they're selecting good skateboarders to
Yeah.
come teach.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
don't know how they did that.
I think they just like, with that contest, they found me and Candy.
Okay.
And yeah, they were.
And if the pay is right, we'll go out there and do what we got to do.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
China doesn't know anything about skating, so of course they had to like bring people in,
The craziest thing is they have the best spots in the freaking
Oh,
world.
And they don't even know it.
They don't even know.
It's so amazing.
It's
Their whole
ridiculous.
country's made of marble.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You have the
There's
best
whole
ledges.
skate plazas there.
I know.
Like walking to the store, I found like all these hips and ledges. I was like, oh my gosh, like,
Crazy.
So-
Do you see what you got here?
yeah, take them outside and skate. Don't
Yeah.
put them in a facility. So
Wow.
So-
that must have just been a interesting 3 months.
Oh wait, when you're showing them videos and stuff, like how are you showing them videos, like, or YouTube, because they don't have YouTube out there, right?
I actually was smart enough to download a VPN before.
There you go.
So I had to pay for a VPN.
Okay.
And if you don't download the VPN before you get to China,
You can't get it.
Oh.
you're out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
they don't have YouTube?
they don't have.
No.
They have their form of YouTube,
They-
but it's not.
I remember they had when we went out there, they had their form of like Twitter back then. It was like Weibo or something like that.
Wemo or
I think it was Weibo.
Weibo. I think you're right.
They actually have
their
a
form of
whole
Instagram.
firewall. Like inland China
Wow.
has a whole firewall. So
Okay.
Google Maps doesn't work. Google doesn't work.
Instagram.
Instagram was
It was
working
working
when
when we were there.
It worked. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
This is early on. This is like
Yeah.
when we were
Before-
we were there like
Yeah.
2010.
Way before
Yeah.
videos were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
on
was just
Instagram.
pictures.
Yeah.
So
Check out my picture.
Yeah.
it was definitely a crazy experiencing like inland China, like different food. Nobody spoke English, like not even yes, no, like, and VPNs. I just told my mom what I was gonna do, and she trusted me, but I had no idea what I was doing. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to China and live with people and train the Chinese Olympic team. Nobody knew what we were doing.
Crazy.
you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I was like in a dorm myself.
Wow.
Just
Did you have rules put upon you, like on what you can do and whatnot?
no, I didn't have any rules, but I needed to be there every day with them.
Okay.
And I remember even my body was getting burnt out after skating every single day for 6 hours is rough.
Crazy.
I'm like, dude, I can't even keep up with this, and I've been skating for so long, like these girls are just gonna break their bodies off way before they can even start. So
Or burn out.
Yeah,
If you haven't even started, you're already burnt out.
burnout, yeah.
I'm burned out just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I could go wherever I wanted to after I was done working, it was just the struggle of like how to get there, like taxi, find the address and
okay.
stuff. So
Yeah.
me and Dan Wildman definitely went out for a couple nights in China. That was fun. That was
Dude, that's
fun.
actually pretty fun to do because you can't really communicate with anyone, and you're just like out.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
We
Sure
found
you-
a couple underground bars, and I was twisted out there. It was so sick. It was so good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The next morning, you just hung over. Okay, girls, listen, we're gonna take it easy today. I don't feel that good. Okay,
Yeah.
and go get me some water.
Let's go practice your hollies.
Go. I sit on the thing, just watch.
Wait, so that whole thing goes down, but then you're still going into the Philippines for the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Martin, what's his last name?
Oh, from World Skate.
World Skate.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the guy I talked to. So I told him, hey, I would like to take this money and go to the Philippines because I'm going to try and find my own opportunity. So after that 3 months, I'm still in suitcases. I just went over to the Philippines because it was really cheap. And right then is when Margie was about to do Asian Games. Though she won the Asian Game medal. So with all these things happening, Margie kind of got the gold medal, got the federation to realize that there was something there on the island. And so I went there and met up with Ant and Margie and met everybody. So we sat down with officials. I got to shake hands, and that's kind of like when we started the Philippines team, actually.
wow.
So before
Okay.
it was just Margie. And then when she won that medal, all of us came together, Danny, Ant, Margie, me. And that was kind of like the start of everything.
So you're on the Olympic team, but we're not in the Olympics yet. Is
Yeah.
that the because you got to like place and all this stuff? I'm sure.
I don't even think the Olympics was officially like set yet.
Okay, they
It
were
was-
just making it.
Yeah.
It was in motion.
It was in motion. I think the season was about to start, and there were so many rules and so many things being discussed of like how you guys are gonna judge it. What like is it? That's when they kind of started adopting the SLS format,
Okay.
and then World Skate was pairing up with other contests and like making dates for the next season. So that was 2018 December. That was the end of 2018. And I went back home to Portland, Oregon at the time. And then 2019 was kind of like the start of the Olympics.
Okay.
That was when like the first true Olympic contest was Brazil in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah.
And then we got in, you placed, and then we went to China again for the Olympics.
Yeah, for the Olympics?
Wait, was it? Wait, where was it?
Tokyo?
Tokyo.
Yeah,
Excuse, yeah, sorry. Tokyo. That's right.
Yeah, so Brazil was really good for me. We went out there all as a crew, stayed there for 3 weeks. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. I had so much acai, and I had so much juice, and I got so tan. It was so nice.
Was that the STU contest?
It wasn't the STU, but they did it back to back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I remember judging that one. I think I saw you.
This
out
was
there.
actually a stadium one. They did like indoor. It was the SLS.
Oh
one.
no, I judged that one too.
Yeah, that was the first time I met you,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I remember Margie was like, "Oh yeah, that's Kelly Hart," and I was like, "You know Kelly Hart? Like, what the heck?" Like,
No, Margie. I was like, damn, she's got a really good tray flip.
Yeah.
I tripped on that.
yeah, tray flips. Let's
Super
go.
sick.
Nice. That contest was really good. I made it to semifinals.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't really understand SLS like rules at the time. Like I did my full run and then did separate tricks out of the run. Like
Oh, yeah.
And then but at the time the girls were doing tricks, their best tricks that were also in their run. So I kind of like just like blew it, but it was a really cool experience. And from then on it was just like I didn't really know what I was getting myself into as far as the Olympic stuff. Like I was kind of just like a kid who was just trying to make it into skating and like doing contests. I was doing a couple like AM stuff, and then all of a sudden I was like on the Olympic tour. Like we were traveling, we were like training, you know, but then
Right.
also nobody knew what they were doing. And you're like, oh, we're in the Olympics. Like what's happening? Well, I don't know.
What is this going to be like?
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of like when a lot of things just really like catapulted. I didn't know that like what we were getting into when I said like I want to do this, you know. So, and it's been a crazy experience so far.
And we're doing it again, right?
Yeah,
You're going to be.
I'm actually on the fence right now.
Oh, are
about
you?
that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It's
Burnout
gonna be right in your
or
backyard.
Yeah,
It's good-
I
it's
know, right? That's the crazy part. That's why I want to do it. But
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, like the girls skating is insane now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's a whole new level from when the first Olympics started.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think at the time Raisa was just barely coming out of the gate. You know, I don't even think she was found yet. You know, so it was like I remember Leo Baker was in the Olympic stuff. It was a whole different group of girls that were doing this together, and we were all kind of the same age group. And now it's a whole young generation that is just totally ripping. You know, I am not gonna put on knee pads and try and hit a rail because that's just not what I'm quite used to. So, I mean, if I'm like really techie and like the thing is, I would love to keep doing it for the Philippines because I want to pass the baton over. But this whole like I'm gonna go to the Olympics kind of mindset is like I don't really want to do that.
right.
You know.
Right.
What about, have you thought about being a coach for the Philippines?
I thought about it too. They also have like problems with like federation and money and funding, and I think everybody in the Olympics right now is going through that. So dealing with federation, dealing with funding, and like as a skater, I could do whatever I wanted, but then as a coach, I kind of have to listen to people.
Yeah.
So there's actually a girl on the Philippines team right now. Her name's Maisel. She skates vert. She's also rides for Powell. She's super good.
Sounds familiar.
She's
I think
10.
I think we talked about it on the show
I think we
once.
did.
Yeah.
With,
Sounds familiar.
With
Vern.
with Vern, but team manager.
Who?
The team manager for Powell.
Oh,
DeVille.
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 Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has so much years left in her. She's so good. I think I would
She's a
probably a baby.
It's crazy.
So if she needed some help and some mentoring, I'd be down to like travel with her because she's so young. But I don't think I want to be like a coach. I've been down that road. I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you went through it a different way.
That's a different approach that they took.
She'd use the same approach with Maisel, though. I know. No, could you imagine?
Oh my gosh! I got
That
thrown
is
in the
so
deep end.
crazy to me.
Crazy.
I can't even imagine.
It's
Yeah.
a really interesting thing. Like, I wonder if you get different countries, what their tactics would be to go into skateboarding. With USA, it's like, we
already.
it's like started here, so it's like we were part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got I've seen a good variety of like the countries and how they go about it. All the Asian countries, like Japan is just anything they do it full force.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna be a piano player, you're gonna be like a Mozart type. Like you're gonna be full on piano. So I think that's why skating has evolved so fast for them. Is when they dedicate themselves, they do it full force. Korea is kind of on that now. China, all different parts of China are doing that, and I've seen crazy stuff. Like I've seen a girl do a kickflip front board and she messed up and they threw a bag underneath her, like to like fall to
help her from falling. Wow.
Yeah, and I've seen bungees too. Like
I've seen that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they have bungees so
they're
you
like
can't.
on them. They're like in there, like strapped in, and they're kick flipping, and like
Wait a minute.
it becomes weightless. So it's like they can do.
I
practice to
this
do
sounds
anything.
good.
Yeah.
Dubs, will you
Or
throw
the
a bag
bungee-
underneath me if I try to rail? You need
it,
there?
if you
Yeah.
needed it, for
Okay.
sure.
You got me.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
seems sketchy too. Like throwing a
Jeez.
bag under somebody.
You gotta be ready, Dubs.
I know
Man,
it's
if I'm
scarier.
Why
going
not
down.
just have the bag there?
Well, because they gotta land, right?
But how are you gonna guess they're gonna land or not so
I mean, you can
quick?
see
That's like so
That's
bad.
so funny,
You just
dude.
you have to throw a big bag real quick underneath
Dubs is
someone.
quick though. Have you seen him run? He can run
Hey,
fast.
I could throw fast.
That's a heavy bag actually. Like,
That's gnarly, dude.
It's full on
too
gymnastics
funny.
now.
Yeah.
Like the bungees, they work enough to where if you were on your board, you would land it, but if you fell further from your board, you wouldn't hit the ground.
God,
I'm like,
yeah.
whole new thing going on.
Sounds kind of fun to try.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
that's what they're training with, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
So-
that seems like it'd be a fun thing to try though.
Funny story. Well, not funny actually. Dan got messed up from one of those bags. They is the first time they got the bag, and he stood up on like the big quarter and was like gonna jump into the bag, right? But there's like sticky pads that you're supposed to use so the bag doesn't slide. And he jumped on that thing and went straight to his tailbone. Oh, he got so messed up from it, and Yeah.
Never mind the bag steps. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll
It's
leave
okay.
that alone. I think
I'm good on the bags.
You know what
Scary.
that's crazy about that tactic though is like the bag stuff is like one of the biggest thing in skateboarding is learning how to bail and bail correctly.
Yeah.
And not having something to safety, but to learn how to like you watch Nakel do a freaking battle roll like that's like he learned how to be good at learning how not to land a trick.
Yeah.
Like that's almost more important. I feel
It
like
is literally half the thing.
Yeah.
It's half the battle.
because you got to bail the trick a few times and then get used to it.
Get a feel for it.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to like bail after rails and hubbas and stuff just to like give up your weight. Like, okay, when in doubt, don't catch yourself, just take the body, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm actually like curious to see how far skating goes right now. It's changing so much in the like this whole gymnastics type of learning and coaches and it's stuff. It's gonna grow so crazy in the girls scene too that I'm really curious to see what the next 4 years is going to bring to LA.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, all the girls that like, you know, Raisa, Chloe, they're like incredible and they're under what 18? I don't know like how old they are.
16 is
Yeah.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, they're skating.
And they're at the top pretty much of their I was like, dude.
I mean,
Every time you see them, they're better and better and better and
yeah.
better. We're watching it in real time, like all the girls.
the last SLS you guys watch. I mean, you
Yeah.
watch it,
Yeah.
It was so exciting. Like new tricks are being thrown in the girls thing at the contest, and I feel like right now a lot of people like the girls because they're like, what new trick are we gonna see? You know?
Yeah.
It is exciting.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
Yamika, she's doing keep it front feebles like a lot more consistent now.
Yeah. Momiji's part.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Her shit was
good.
so good.
Buttery.
We
Yeah.
haven't even talked about that
No,
yet.
yeah, but we will.
Right.
Yeah.
So techie, man.
She's
I
a-
love
Liz
it.
Yeah.
Liz Akama, she's gnarly.
So cool.
Yeah.
The little SLS thing of her talking was so cute. It's the first time I've seen like Liz like talk or like say something about herself. I was like, oh, I love her so much. Yeah. So it was cool.
But all this Olympic stuff and everything is going on but it's the same time as the women's Battle of the Berrics, right? Which I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
Because you were in the women's Battle of the Berrics. You beat Monica Torres.
Yeah.
Monica Torres is good.
She's super good. Yeah.
Then you went on to go do a contest or something. But you won that, and then still she was back in, and then she won Battle of the Berrics. So there was a whole.
It was a whole thing. I had to. So
It was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing. I sadly I had to drop out because the day of the barracks was the same day as a big contest. It was like the exact same day, and I tried really hard to like, oh, maybe it's gonna be the week before. Maybe I can do this and fly in. But then I found out the day is the exact same, and I was like,
Olympic contest?
oh, so this was Southeast Asian Games. So Margie did Asian Games, which is like it comes every 4 years, kind of like the Olympics for the Asian countries, and it's only like Asia. And then Southeast Asian Games was all the Southeast Asian countries, so like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and stuff, and that comes every 2 years. So I had been training after I got in the Philippines. I was training specifically for SEA Games.
Okay.
And there was a potential for us to get medals. It was a good look for our federation and the team. And so, yeah, Women's Battle of the Berrics was going on. I first went against Chelsea Castro. It was a really good game. She's awesome, like good homie.
Little shredder.
Little shredder. No, that's cool. We're both the same stance. We got a lot of similar tricks, so it was a really fun game.
Yeah.
And the same day I went against Monica. And
Same day?
same day. Yeah, we actually
you had
filmed
a
it
bit-
on the same day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we had 2 games back to back lined up, and I really thought, I didn't think Monica was just nervous or she was having an off day, but I did a bunch of tricks I thought she could do and then couldn't do, and I just clean sweeped her. It was, I was expecting Monica more,
Yeah.
but I think
maybe she was nervous.
I think she was just had a lot of pressure on her.
Okay.
So I won against her, and then right after I was like found out the date, and I was like, dude, I can't do Women's Battle of the Berrics. And we had to have like a little interview and everything about why I was forfeiting, but it was really good because hey,
There it
that's the
is.
game.
Yeah.
It was so hot. I was wearing gym shorts. Look, she was wearing gym shorts too.
It gets hot in there.
Super
It's
hot.
Like, probably in the summertime.
It was
I'm assuming.
hot in there.
And I remember I walked in there earlier and they were having like a Doja Cat like music video or something, and they were like, "Oh, are you skating the music video?" I was like, "No." I'm like,
A game of skate. What are
yeah,
you talking about?
we're trying to do women's battle of the barracks.
So wait, so you clean sweeped her.
I clean sweeped her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so what happened with the Southeast Asian Games? They couldn't reschedule the Battle of the Berrics?
They couldn't reschedule the Battle of the Barracks. I don't even think I asked them to. And it was too close to the Southeast Asian Games contest where I don't think they could have pushed it back further or moved it forward either.
We're talking about the Battle of the Berrics.
The Battle of the
Who were you
Berrics.
supposed to play?
After,
Do you remember? After Monica.
I think I was supposed to play Leo Baker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would have had any type of like luck with that sign. So maybe, I don't know, who knows, but it ended up working out pretty well.
Okay. So they couldn't move anything around everybody's schedule, so you had to
That
to
was
dip out.
so the finals of the women's battle of the barracks was like I could have probably done the other games leading up, but the actual finals was on the same day as the other contest. The exact same day.
Okay.
Like, even
So
if
it's
it was
finals.
The finals, even if
I
it was
get
like a
it, I
week
get it.
before, I could have done it and then flown out.
So you were like, you know what? Let me just bow out now.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna keep winning and winning and winning.
Yeah.
And get to the finals because that's just how badass you are.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
I was
Like,
practicing my flat game.
See?
You know?
Yeah, that's all
Thanks,
right.
I appreciate
But so
it.
you just were like, okay, let me just bow now.
Yeah, I was so close. Actually, looking
Okay.
for the bracket, I was like, dang, I really 2 more games, and we could have like, maybe that could have been a good move for me. But so I think women's battle of the barracks was like 10 grand for purse prize. It was really nice. But Southeast Asian Games was 35.
A little bit better. A little bit better.
A little bit better. And I also, I snagged a gold medal in park at the time, and then 2 silver medals for skating. So
I just love the fact.
Damn.
It's good, right?
Not at all.
I just love the fact that you beat Monica, then you dipped out, then Monica got back in, she won Battle of the
Yeah.
Barracks, and then you won the Southeast Asian Games. Like, it all worked out, right?
She got her bag, I got my bag.
Yeah.
She came up, but we actually do have, like, I really hope they run this back. Like,
The Battle of the Barracks
would
women, yeah.
love to. But
They got to do it.
I always get this kind of sometimes, like we have this underlying rivalry between me and Monica.
Not really. You smoked her, dude. There's no content. I'm just kidding. She's awesome.
No, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
The redemption.
she's got good flat grain.
There's no way.
Yeah. We had different tricks, and like I know she's got some heavy switch stuff. I got some heavy switch stuff. Like, I would really, really love for us to like have a rematch. And, like,
Yeah.
Have you
see.
not played her
Plenty of
again
run back.
in a game of skating?
No.
Really?
I know.
I feel like
It needs to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs to
Okay.
happen at some point. Yeah.
that
So
would be fun.
I want to
yeah.
see that.
Barracks,
Yeah.
we gotta run a women's battle of the barracks back.
I mean, they got to run the whole thing back. I mean, they have no skate park anymore. So
Yeah.
That's the problem.
what are they going to Yeah.
True.
Haven't even heard of anything.
We could do it on the 9 Club.
Oh, yeah?
Because we just do it in the parking lot.
Yeah, we're right out here.
We
Let me
can
call
just go to,
Monica
like,
right now.
Every Sunday we can go to like downtown courthouse.
Yeah,
On some,
that's-
like, flat, like what if we brought it to the streets? That'd be
That's a good.
sick.
I think-
such a good flat ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't make it that big of a production because skaters would get. I mean, that would be pretty whack if we made a production at that spot.
No, you just need 2 cameras and a ref and
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that sounds easy enough.
mellow
Boom.
Mellow.
streets.
Chris,
No,
can
but you're talking about
announce-
the best streets. You're talking about the best flat ground in LA, though.
Yeah, that's the best.
No, we're going to the gritty parking lot
Oh my
across
god.
the street.
Okay, perfect. I'll work on that. Try and revert it. No.
So I love the fact that that kind of worked out right in everybody's favor.
It
right?
was so
She-
sick.
yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
really
cool.
stoked for her. Like, I think after that, it really like kickstarted her career in the States. She got her bag. I got my bag. The whole year I had been training for Southeast Asian Games. Like, Aunt was prepping me. We all were gearing up for this. I got recruited for park and bowl. Like, I was not a street
bowl-
skater on the team. I was the park and bowl skater. Yeah, so I was like, at the time I was living in Portland, Oregon, so I was skating with pads and helmets and Burnside and like trying to,
Really?
I was trying to really figure out how to skate transition. So Kelly's looking at me like, what is going on?
It's like that's such like a gnarly transition.
That's
to skate,
that's like if I was at Burnside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta really figure this stuff out, Dubs. You know.
and just like saw me skating a mini ramp and was like, yo, you're really good at transition. Do you think that you could skate this? And I was just like, yeah. I could do this. So I went and bought like pads to knee slide in, and like I really took the time to figure out how to skate transition and park. And the whole year in Portland, I was actually like really happy I was up there because they had so much transition and like really gnarly stuff to skate. Yeah. So, and tons of people who skate transition up there.
Yeah, that's a good place to do it for sure.
So gnarly. They like crush a 6-pack and then skate a bowl. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Maybe don't learn that way.
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe my fear factor got like higher during that, but
even to like retrain your brain on how to knee slide is a whole thing.
Yeah. I remember
Dubs, you ever tried a knee slide on it? Yeah, it's hard.
It is.
To try to get used to the whole thing again.
It's a process.
Again, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Learn how to bail differently. Yeah. I remember I did a bunch of bowl contests, and then I went back to street, went to hit a rail, and bailed to my knees, and I was like,
oh.
See? Naturally, too.
Just naturally, just accidentally went to my knees, and I was like, oh, no, my kneecaps just died.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, that's a cool story. So
See,
I can say... Hey, that was a
Christiana Means, the first place.
Yeah, I started crying.
Did you?
Yeah.
2019, let's go.
That was what a cool little experience, you know.
Aww. It was in the Philippines too.
Oh, it was.
It was Southeast Asian Games, the 30th anniversary in the Philippines, and our whole team got 6 medals. Like we crushed it, and. I was actually incredibly sick, and I had a rolled ankle, so I was taking a lot of like cough medicine, and my ankle was taped up like 3 times. And we had like 3 contests in 1 week, so it was like hell week at that time. Like, oh, sick. That was a really proud moment. My grandmother was there. Like,
oh, really? That's amazing.
My Lola from the Philippines, and like she came down from the stands and like got to take pictures too. She's like, I'm famous. I'm like, yeah, you are. It was really cool.
That's amazing.
So that was definitely worth going out there for that. That's for sure.
It meant a lot to me to like, I wanted to do that for the Philippines. You know, like for my whole life, I've wanted to be like connected with my culture, and just be able to hold that flag and like be like, okay, cool. Like the Philippines is here and we're ready to make some movements was, yeah.
I love it.
I
love it.
Cool.
That's cool.
And then we'll get the rematch between you and Monica.
Dang, you really dug up these. This is Philippines.
This is what we do. This is what we do. We dig it up.
How often do you get back to the Philippines?
I usually I try and go every year for about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I try. This year I missed it, but last year I spent 3 months there. That was nice.
Amazing.
Does the Federation or does the Philippines buy you tickets to go out there?
Sometimes, like if I'm there and I'm like, hey, I really want to train here, they'll help me out with stuff. But I also have like family, and I would like save up for it myself. And you can stay in the North Island, you can go to the South Island. Now there's more skate parks, so you actually can train there. But most of the time though, it's just for family and like vacation. It's like my escape to like not have anybody contact me for a little bit.
I love that.
New SIM card. I'm off grid. Yeah, I'm getting tan. I'm wearing flip flops. Yeah, so
big chill mode.
Big
chilling, eating a lot of food, and just exploring. I miss it. This year I was a little sad to miss out on it, but I think next year I'll probably go out again for sure.
I love that.
So
we had mentioned it in the top of the episode, but I wanted Powell.
Yeah.
Meow. Mm-hmm. Powell. Mm-hmm. What happened there? What's going on? How did you get on Powell? How did this whole thing transpire?
Yeah. Would you like me to start with Meow?
Yeah, I mean, because Meow was like one of your was Meow your first sponsor?
My first sponsor.
First sponsor.
Very first sponsor.
That makes it even harder.
Yeah, it was a breakup. Like, I actually like put off the text for a while. Like,
really?
And I didn't know how to tell someone who had been supporting me for so many years and so many things that I like might be like moving to something else.
Right.
Even though Elissa Whitaker is amazing.
She's the best.
She is amazing.
She's helped so many people.
Yeah, and she just will give everything that she can for somebody.
Yeah.
I love her to death. She really helped. Actually, she helped me. She was kind of like the kickstart to get me out to California. So after South Carolina, I graduated. I did like a 1 year of college.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Tampa, Florida with my mom, and Tampa was awesome because they had skate park in Tampa there. And I didn't really, like, I'd been down there, I'd skated a lot, like, during holidays and stuff, but then when I moved there, I was like, oh, man, like, they let girls skate for free. It became my second home. I started pulling up to events, and, like, I think that's when I really started, like, before I skated, but then Tampa is when I started to, like, dive deep. Like, okay, I think I can do this. I'm really good. And I'm missing out so many things. I gotta hold on.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah.
So I was really looked up to Mariah Duran. She was like,
she's great.
She's amazing, dude. She's
got the best hard flip in the game.
Dude, even her kick flip over stuff and stuff. She's just so crispy and
Super dope.
Yeah. Her video parts are cool too. She's just cool girl.
She's dope.
Yeah. She went pro, and I was watching Meow, and I was like, man, I really love them. I love their team. They just did quit their day job. So I just sent a message on the Instagram. I was like, hey, like, I really love you guys. I love seeing the team. Like, what can I do to be a part of the team? And she was like, well, I can send you some boards, but really you have to be out here in California.
Right.
And I was like, okay, bet, done deal. So I worked for a month just to save up money, and I got an invite from the Poseidon's Foundation at Battle at the Berrics to do like their girls session, and I just saved up money and went out there and walked up to Lisa like, you told me to come to LA, so here I am. Like I did what you said to do, which was show my face. And that was kind of, so since 2018 she's been giving me boards.
Okay.
And she helped me with, like, if I had advice or should I talk to these people, you know, how do I film? Like, a lot of these questions where I was like asking her, I would always ask Lisa. She would help me get to some like Wheels of Fortune if I needed a couple bucks for a flight or anything. So she was awesome. But I think that I was starting to outgrow the image of Meow. Like, or maybe not myself growing out of it, but I just wanted to change up like what I was rocking.
Okay. Okay.
The team is great, but we've just always struggled with trying to do more and be more part of the team, and which is nothing wrong with that. Everyone was kind of doing their own thing, and we had a couple projects, like video stuff, but when Powell, I just started hanging out with Powell. Like, Dan Corrigan is like a big friend, so he was like, yo, you should come out and skate. I came out and skated a couple of times, and DeVille just called me one day like, yo, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing? He's like, well, what are you trying to do? I'm like, what are these questions? Like, he's like, well, who are you riding for? I'm like, Meow. He's like, how's it going? I'm like, it's good, like, you know, but like, I'm open to something new. And he's like, you know, well, I don't really want to steal someone's like team member.
Sure.
So think about it, talk to Lisa, see what she thinks. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how do I talk to a board company to say that another board company's interested?
Right.
So
I feel like Lisa's very understanding though, and she's gone through this a lot too.
Super.
I mean, any board company has gone through it too,
Yeah.
you know.
No, of course. Sometimes you
And
just have to-
conversation's the best.
Yeah.
Like communication.
Yeah, and so yeah, she's definitely been through it before. I kind of just opened the door by saying like, hey Lisa, like, I skated with Powell, and Powell said they'd be like really interested. Like, you know, with your permission, can I see what they could offer? And she's like, yeah, you know, just, you know, thanks for letting me know. Like, talk to them about it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I kind of like 3 months went by, and I feel like I kind of just reached my end with Meow, and I started talking more with Powell, hanging out with them, and they sent me a board. I was like, okay, cool. So I started like kind of skating on it, and then I knew that I wanted to leave Meow. I just couldn't get myself to do it. It was like a breakup text, you know, like I gotta have the phone call, I gotta tell her why, and Sadly, I posted a photo that I was in, but it had my Powell board in it. And this is where I was a little like bummed on how I handled the situation. Lisa was like, "Are you skating a Powell board?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Like, you know, and she was like, "Oh, I thought we were gonna do this," and I was like, you know, she's like, you know, we were trying to get an ad out for you, and I was like, Lisa, like, thank you. I don't like, I'm going through so much growth right now. I feel like I wanted something new to like kind of start fresh and work towards. And, you know, I kind of told her that Powell meets up. Dude, they meet up twice a week.
Yeah, they're like, they skate a lot together.
They skate a lot together. There's always like 2 cameras on the session. And my biggest struggle was trying to get skate clips. Like, since our team was all dispersed, it was really hard. Like, I would have to go find a filmer, go to a spot, like build a connection with a skater to make it work. But then Powell kind of already had like kind of some good stuff going.
Right.
So yeah, and like the talks with DeVille just kept like progressing, and I told him what I wanted. Like, I would really like a future with Powell. You know,
Sure.
I would really like the opportunity to be able to go as far as I possibly can. He's like, okay, well, let me talk with some people and let me get back to you. And then he called me again randomly one day. Was like, yo, Billy's down for you. I was like, well, Billy, who's it? He's like, the brand manager. Like, he's down to like go forward with you if you put in the work, you know, like
Okay.
wink, wink. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm at dinner. I'm like jumping up and down, like sick. So yeah, that's kind of like how it happened.
Okay.
I think I could have definitely handled the transition from that better, but Lisa, super supportive. She understands.
Yeah.
She really, without her, I don't think I would have gotten, I wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been the same,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
So,
Well, congrats on that. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
so yeah, they've been sick. They like, I told them I skated a 7.75 and they're like, oh, well, we only have 8s. I was like, oh, okay, I can try an 8 out. But recently they just made me my own like 7.75 shape.
Perfect.
And they're like, yeah, we really need one for the flight decks. And so I got my hands on it recently and I was like, oh, cool.
A
Like,
775 flight deck?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't they have like mini logo boards still?
They have mini logos.
But they don't have like smaller sizes in those?
They not in the flight boards.
Oh,
Yeah.
the flight boards.
Like the 5-ply ones.
Okay.
They only had 8 and then up. And then so they were like, oh, well, we can take the 8 and shrink it down. But I was like, I think the shape might change a lot when you do that, you know? Like, so I gave them the board. A lot of people ride it. It's like Felipe Gustavo rides it. Manny rides it. It's like the M19 dwindle shape.
Okay.
It was a really good shape. I had been skating it for a little bit because Manny was riding it. I was riding that shape. And yeah, so we changed up the shape a little bit. So where the 7.75, the wheelbase matches, the nose and tail is pretty like, it complements the board.
Oh, so you're saying that the board you took wasn't a 775, but it was a good shape that you kind of like then morphed it down into a 775.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we were trying to find a board shape that complemented, because like once the board goes down, it gets long and
Turns
like
into
weird.
yeah.
Yeah. So it turned into like a really long like thing. So we had to like kind of modify it.
Got you. And so you're happy with the way it turned out? You stoked on it? Yeah.
I'm stoked on it. Yeah. So it was really cool.
Wow.
Hopefully if I put in the
7.75.
work, then some things would be cool.
There you go.
But just the fact that they were so about like, oh, well, let's get you a board shape. I'm like,
Right.
sick. Like that takes a lot of effort to get a new board shape and like a whole new mold.
Yeah.
Made.
Yeah.
So
They're investing in you.
Yeah, so it's cool. I'm invest worthy. Hopefully, pretty
Yeah.
good. Trying to be. So yeah, I've just been really stoked on like DeVille is awesome. I actually watched the podcast with DeVille.
yeah.
That actually was happening right around the same time. So when that episode came out, I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched it and I was like, who is this guy?
Okay.
Yeah, I was taking notes. I was like, okay, don't know anything about DeVille.
Right.
I keep hearing good things, but I want to know.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's really cool because like I feel like, you know, growing up like Girl and Chocolate, like everybody would skate together. Like it
Yeah.
really forms the bond even more tight.
Yeah.
When you're like that, because sometimes teams are spread out, you know, and especially when you get older, you know, then you start spreading out a little
Yeah.
bit more. People move and do their different things. And
Yeah.
so it's nice to have a squad.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people just change companies too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, their friends are over here and their sponsors are way over here.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to film when you're alone, you know, like you get to a spot and you're nervous, or
Right.
at least you have some homies, people that like you vibe with to like get hyped and go on missions. And
they're very social media heavy
Yeah.
too. They're all on YouTube and social media. So that's a plus for you.
And
Yeah.
all the team members, you can tell, like, I didn't really, you know, I kind of was like, who are these guys? But when we're all together, everyone's talking shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's like having fun. You know, someone will try something, someone else jumps in, and it's really been like good energy, and I'm really excited for like this to like work with them. You know,
I love that.
So
Dope. As long as you're happy and you're stoked and you're doing your thing, that's all that matters.
Powell, dude,
Yeah.
and I can tell my first board was a Powell.
That's
Peralta.
great. I know. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
first board.
Pull that up again, Raj. $34. No, it's fun. It's amazing. You know,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
It seems like you're really hyped on it. So
hyped.
Yeah.
And the flight boards are crazy. Yeah.
What's the? I don't understand. It's 5 plies.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's
so-
just
No,
5 ply.
no. They put
It's like
carbon
fiberglass?
fiber
Oh.
or something. What did they put in there, Raj? Raj knows.
It's a secret.
It's a
Secret.
secret.
No, it's not a secret, dude.
They definitely don't say that in advertising.
Yeah,
It's a
this
secret. Buy this. It's a secret.
So
That means he doesn't know.
it's a 5-ply with other brands have done it where they've had either 1 layer or 2 layers of carbon fiber, but it's 5 layers of carbon fiber with 5 little layers of board. And
Oh.
Okay.
it's super thin. Actually,
Yeah.
I think
It
that
is.
one.
This is a flight deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pull this off the wall. This is an Andy Anderson shape. This is look
thing
how
is super
look how
thin.
thin that is, bro.
yeah, that's.
That's a flight deck, man.
They're light.
I wonder if that would skate different.
Well, Raj,
I skated
Dude,
a level.
they're
Raj said
snappy.
he skates a board for what 2 years? You said, Raj, or something.
Actually, I skated your board that day when we were at the beach. Actually, it was pretty cool.
I skated the flight board for a month in Barcelona, and it didn't have one chip. It didn't have razor tail.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and the
Snap was still there.
snap was still there. Like I felt
Really?
bad not skating the board for longer, but I just needed I wanted to freshen up my board.
Doesn't that feel weird?
Wow.
No, you know what? At first I feel like it has a lot of like it snaps, and it's kind of rigid. So my ankles would kind of get a little hot pocket, but then once you get used to it, it's really nice. Like the snap on the ground, like when you tap it, is so dense and nice. Like yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
dude.
This is a car running over a flight deck, and it just
Bounce
pops back
backs.
up into regular.
Yeah. Oh, the trucks are
Look at that.
fucked, but the
Oh,
board's
the
nice.
trucks. Yeah. So this is not an advertisement for the trucks,
Yeah.
but look at that.
Jeez.
Then the
It's
board kept
perfect.
its shape. Yeah.
Bounce
And then
back.
he just jumps on there and does a kickflip.
For a whole month, I rode it in Barcelona. It rained, everything, and it still had like the most perfect little snap and not mushy.
It's crazy.
I can't go back to regular wood now. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, it's cool. Although the flight boards are a little expensive, but they last like
Right.
twice, 3 times as long as a normal board.
So you get-
Wait, how much are they?
$100 bucks maybe?
100 something. I think this
think-
one's more just because it's the shape of
Yeah,
Andy
this is
Anderson.
a crazy and
Yeah, but
it's crazy shape.
I think honestly, I think it's like 110 or something like that.
Yeah, 100 to 110.
100 and 110. We
Yeah.
got the flight decks right
Amazing.
here, 99. But like you said, like you get what you pay for, right? That's what
Yeah.
they say.
At first, I was really skeptical. I was like, I don't know, like because
Yeah.
skaters they don't want to mess with
You
the
wanna
wood.
change, yeah, you
they
don't
don't
wanna
want to
change
mess with
shit.
it. But I'm sold on it, and I'm rocking that like pink 8. It's like K29
This
shape
one?
or something like that. Yeah. No, the one right next to it.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your record. Oh, but the 775 is not done yet.
It's not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's to be coming later.
Gotcha.
You know.
Okay. But you've been testing them.
I've been testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the works.
Yeah, I
It
think
works.
Well, I think people are skeptical. Not that they're skeptical. I don't know. These things probably are flying like off the shelves like hotcakes. But you know,
They do. They sell all like Powell does really good with their flight boards actually.
because it's like the skateboarding hasn't changed. The skateboards hasn't changed in so long, and people try to change here and there little things, and it never really sticks. But
No.
they got it
I think
going.
this is like probably the most like thing that could actually stick with like things that people could adapt to that doesn't change skating too much.
Right.
But everything else on the board is the same. You
Yeah.
know, it just lasts longer. The shape withstands good shapes. I don't know. Like I really am like pretty.
Just another
impressed with
option that you could try.
them.
I
Yeah,
would-
for sure.
I would love to see someone get pissed with one of those boards and they try to focus it and they just go. You'd probably fuck yourself up,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
I think I was talking with. Oh my gosh! I bet your ankles would probably go before the board. I think Dan was like, I've only seen one board get broken, and then like purposely trying to disaster, like
wow.
and like snapped it on the coping.
Like Jimmy Wilkins,
Yeah,
freaking.
yeah. So,
Wow.
but so like he said he hadn't seen anybody break a board. The shinners are a little gnarly. Like that's a thin board. And
I mean, it's gonna get you if you get hit in the shin with
Yeah.
anything. It's gonna be.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
chop
hurt.
you. It's gonna chop you a little
Yeah.
different.
Ah.
karate
Yeah.
chop.
Chop you a little different.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, congrats on all that. It's
Yes.
amazing. I love the, it's kind of, sometimes it's nice to have a fresh start and kind of figure that,
Yeah,
get
I'm
it
really
going,
excited
right?
for this next year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm like, I think like I would do the Olympics for my country and for traveling and for fun, but in this year I would really love to street skate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I haven't done it yet. I have a part, but like I want a nice part. I got kind of cut short on the last one.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's my kind of like my main focus this year is I just want to skate with the team, get clips, go out to Barcelona and film more,
Nice.
and be here.
Yeah.
Just kind of make new moves. And
I love
change
it.
That's a
up.
difference
I
for
love
sure.
it.
I could totally understand like having the battle, like, oh, I gotta worry about contests and I gotta worry about street skating. To
Yeah.
like eliminate that contest element and just go worry about street skating is, I'm sure, it's gonna be so dope.
So I want that so bad. I kind of like I want to just go back to roots for a little bit, you know, like
Totally.
Well, going to Barcelona for 2 months, that'll set you back into it right away.
Yeah.
Big time.
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, that'll
dude,
get you
fuck
street
contest.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, you had a huge thing happen to you, like you broke your back or something. Like, what was it?
It was
And
spinal.
So, spinal? It was a spine.
Wow.
So, like, what? I mean,
Yeah.
not only that happened. How long ago was that? It was only like a couple years ago or something.
It was
right?
a year and a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Year
And
and a
it
half.
took you how long to get back into the shape that you're in right now?
It took me 6 months. I was back at a contest, at an Olympic contest.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what, like, how bad was the spinal? What happened? It was at a contest, but
Yeah.
you slammed. Tell us what happened.
yeah. So, I went through my ACL surgery. Hurt my knee. Went through that.
It's just like everything's happening, right? You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't catch a break.
I have definitely had a string of injuries. I don't know. Like one was from skating. Like for sure, I messed up on a rail. And then the second one, I feel like was a little bit more just bad luck. So I did my whole knee. In the process of doing my knee, I was like, so when you're off balance, like when one leg is more stronger than the other, sometimes you can put stress on other things.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
I think during this whole time I was stressing out my back, and I just thought like my lower back was hurting. So a year, almost 2 years after, year and a half after my knee, I went to a contest. I was like really gassed up. My skill level was good. I was feeling great. Like I just was filming the video part for Ice Cream at the time.
Okay.
And was back in the streets. So my back was hurting a lot in this point. Like, and I was a little worried about going to this contest because my back was hurting. So it was in Tokyo, Japan, in Chiba, Japan.
Okay.
So I like prepped the whole week to be able to make it through the flight because like when you sit down, my back was hurting, right? So I'm explaining this because at the time I didn't know what was going on. Like I just thought, oh, I'm skating, my back hurts. And so I get all the way to Chiba, Japan. I'm super excited. I'm trying to like document it a little bit. And the first night, there was a really strong earthquake. Like it was really strong. Like my whole phone went off like, whoop, there's an earthquake. Like, and
Wow.
in the process of me trying to like get up, I think I just tweaked my back, and I was dehydrated from the flight. I was stiff from the flight. My back was hurting previously, and I completely tweaked out my back. And I ran from my bed to like the door frame because I was like, you're like, okay, where is the safest place? The door
That's
frame.
what they say.
I
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
even know if that's a real thing.
I don't know if
So
it is either, to be honest.
I learned that when something like that happens, you should remain calm and move swiftly but calmly.
Okay.
Don't tweak your back. Yeah. So I tweaked my back. I'm like, dang, dude, I just came all the way. I'm fine, right, at this point. I like can't really like stand up all the way, but I'm fine. It hurts a lot. So I called the contest like, hey, I hurt my back. Is there anybody who could help me? Like, do you guys have like
PT or something?
PT, like athletic trainers on site. Like, yeah, like, come by, and we open this at 10. So come by and we'll have like some PT done for you. So I walked down to the convenience store. I was getting like ice and like pain medicines and stuff, trying to like get my back, because we had practice later that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just flew all the way out here. It really stinks to not even be able to do any of it.
Yeah.
So I get to the venue. They work on me. The first doctor is like, all right, well, you have these symptoms. Let's just like do some soft tissue stuff. Like take this medicine, chill, hang out, do stretches, and see if it gets better. I'm like, okay, cool. So the whole time in the venue, I'm hanging out with the other athletes. We're laughing, I'm stretching, I'm like trying to take care of it. 5 o'clock rolls around, and my friend Grace, what's her, like, she skates for Park. Grace, she skates for Monster. No,
I don't know.
Anyways, a good friend. So she was like, hey, I'm gonna catch a cab so we can go back to the thing. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, go catch it. I'm gonna go see the PT one more time really quick, and then like I'll meet you by the car. So I saw a different guy, and the guy like, he's like, okay, well, it seems like you're doing better. Let's go ahead and like adjust you. So he lays me down, and they do the whole thing where they cross, like they turn you on your side, and they like put their body weight and cross you.
Oh.
And it completely made it worse.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Like he adjusted me, and kind of like an idiot, I leaned up. I'm like, yeah, I feel great. Yeah, that feels good. You got the spot. And on the way from the walk to the cab, I kind of knew something was really wrong.
Oh, wow.
I was like getting this like twitching on the side of like my glute and like down my leg, and I'm like, my pain from then was like maybe at like a 5, and all of a sudden it was like at like an 8. And so I get in the cab, I'm like holding my breath the whole ride, just trying to act normal, like yeah, I'm good, just my back hurts, whatever. I'm trying to be really tough. I get up to my hotel room, and I laid down, and I was stuck, like could not move from like 6 until like 11. I was just in brutal pain. Like I was laying all awkward and kind of like texting my doctors back home, like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, should I wait until the morning to go to the doctor, like to the emergency room? And they're like, well, I was just talking back and forth, and I was like, I think I can make it. I think I can make it through the night. So, the pain is like up at mind-blowing levels.
Damn.
And, like 1 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, dude, I have to pee. If not, I cannot. I'm gonna have an accident in the bed. So yeah, I was like, this is gonna be horrible. So I managed to like get out of bed, and there was like a little room and a hallway and then the bathroom. So I'm walking from here to there, and like right in between, I collapsed, and I couldn't feel the right side of my body, like my lower half.
Dude.
And like luckily I just had my phone in my pocket. Like I was stuck on the floor, like, and I struggled for about like 30 minutes before I decided, I was like, okay, I need to call somebody.
Damn.
Like right now.
Okay.
And I remember I called my mom. I was like, Mom, like I don't know if I'm crazy, but I really can't feel anything on this side. She's my mom. She's panicking now at this point,
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, well, we'll call the ambulance. I'm like, all right, cool. So I looked up the emergency number, and I called them, and none of them could speak English, because we're like in Japan, but in like a little town, Chiba. So I finally get someone on the phone. They send somebody out. Dispatchers come to the hotel. They come up, and it's 2 guys who have no idea about, like, they don't speak English, and they come into my room, and all they see is like a young girl on the ground crying.
Yeah.
So, and I'm on my phone trying to tell them, like, here's where it hurts, like I can't move, like just trying to communicate with them. So they realize that I'm like really bad, it took a little bit for them. So somehow they picked me up, managed to get me into the ambulance downstairs, and they tell me like, hey, we can't take you to the hospital because we don't have a translator. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So who do I know? And I just started like texting people. I was texting Mike Sinclair at the time, like telling him what was going on. He's calling people to see who's up because it's like 1:30 in the morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I actually ran into a lady who was doing the broadcast stuff for the contest in where I got like ice and pain medicine. She gave me her number. So I was like, oh, cool, I have this number. I just started calling it over and over and over and over and over. She finally picks up and I'm like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I really need your help. And I'm in an ambulance downstairs. Like, can you please come? I need someone to speak Japanese for me. So she gets ready. She comes in the ambulance and she's like, oh my God, like treating me like I'm her child.
Yeah.
And I was really grateful that she, was willing to do that. So we're in the ambulance. We're going to the hospital, and I see a doctor and he's like, hey, well, the orthopedic doctor's not here right now. So, and he comes in the morning at 10 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay.
Jeez.
Like, do you know what's going on? He's like, no, like, we need to wait for him. So it's like 2:30 in the morning. And they just, like, she had to leave because she had to go do her stuff. And they just put me in a room, like, by myself on pain medicine.
Wow.
And, like, left the light on. And I'm like, I can't move. Like, anytime, like, I can move my upper body, but anytime I moved something down, like, it was just, like, the most brutal pain I've ever experienced. Like, I try really hard to, like, not dumb it down, but, like, if there was a big red button for me to, like, tap out on life, I was really, it was bad.
Damn.
And I remember they gave me, like, a little button to, like, keep the medicine going. So I was just doing that. I was, like, in and out from the medicine, but also in a lot of pain, and I was kind of calling people to let them know what was going on. And I didn't know if they were going to forget me in that room, So, like...
your mind starts going wild.
Yeah, I was really, like, what is going to happen next? So I, like, survived through the night, and then they finally come in and get me, and I'm like, oh, whoa, crazy. Okay, cool. Like, the doctor doesn't speak English at all. So the contest sent me a translator who was like a BMX dude. He's not a doctor. He's just
right.
another kind of skater person like me, So they, like, man, it's such a blur of things that kind of like happened at this time. So they finally took me and they were like, okay, well, we need to get an x-ray. So they put me in the thing. They get an x-ray. The whole time they're moving me, I'm just screaming. Like, is pretty nuts. And then, like, they did an MRI. So I'm, like, waiting for all these results. They wheel me into the room where they're talking with the doctor, and I can't understand anything that they're telling me. I'm really nervous. And the translator guy's, like, translating stuff to me. He's like trying to tell me I'm okay, like, it's not gonna get worse, but I'm like, I can't feel my leg, dude. Like, I don't, like, what's going on? So I just took, they had, like, the MRI pulled up on the computer, and I just snapped a picture of it, boom, right there with my phone. And they put me back in a room to wait for, like, the next treatment. And I sent it to my doctor, and my doctor was like, oh my God, like, this is really surgical. Like, how are you feeling? I'm like, well, I can't feel my leg. This is what's going on. He's like, I really need you to check and make sure that you have feeling, like, in your private area. Okay. Every hour to make sure, like, you're okay. He's like, if you start to lose feeling down there, we need to do emergency surgery right now. And I'm like, oh my God, like, jeez. These texts are rolling in. I'm like,
was it like a blood flow thing, or what?
Anybody?
So what I did, I completely obliterated my disc out of my back.
Oh.
So you have like a bulge disc, and then you have like a herniated disc, like where it's out, and then I had a ruptured disc, and it was ruptured from the complete left side to my right side.
Oh,
and
God.
It was just gushed out with spinal fluid, and there was so much swelling that it was pushing on my spinal cord, and it was cutting off the feeling to my right leg, and yeah.
So just like I mean, we're all in. Like,
that's
we,
a
I don't.
I have back stuff happen to me all the time, but I couldn't even imagine that type of pain.
I mean, we're in
Dude,
shock.
back pain is insane,
It's
right?
nuts.
It's
crazy.
debilitating.
Yeah.
It's
I
debilitating.
tweaked my back just bending down and grabbing laundry. That sock fell on the floor, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
For
Not-
days,
not
I
at
couldn't.
this level,
no,
though.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
No.
But
No.
a tweak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
easy.
at
Yeah.
this point, I'm in complete shock. I don't know what this means. They're saying my spinal cord's cut off. And then so I called my mom and tell them like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, this is what I've heard. This is
Yeah.
what my doctor in the States are saying. This is what they're saying here. So they finally took me into another room. They're like, hey, we're going to give you a steroid shot, like in your back, in the disc, so that the inflammation goes down. Like, that's what we can do right now, is to get the inflammation lower so that it relieves your spinal cord.
Makes sense.
So I cannot lay flat at all. Like, I'm hunched over. I can only go on all fours barely. And they're trying to, I have to be flat on my back, on my belly to give the needle. And I'm just screaming at them, telling them that I can't go down. And they just send in like 4 people and pushed me down to the ground and did the needle. And at that point, I was just telling them, like, get it done. Like, do it. Like,
Wow.
if it helps me, do it. Do it right now. And so that happens. It kind of relieved the pain just a little bit, where I could like breathe. I could kind of like get, like, I could get on my phone and start making the next moves. So they're like, you're fine. You're discharged. It's not going to get worse. I'm like, okay, well, my doctors in the States are saying something totally different. Like, I might need emergency surgery right now. And they're like, but I'm not Japanese. Like, you know,
Right.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I need to get back home. So they take me out of the hospital. The translator gets me all like discharged. They actually take me back to my original hotel, and they put me there. And I called Minna Stess's mom.
Yeah.
She was the only like person I really knew at the contest. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I can't walk. I can't move. I'm just up in the hotel. Like, could you please, like, for the next couple of days, just get me like some food and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but and when we found out what was going wrong in my back, you know, I called my mom, and then my mom called Manny and told Manny, like, hey, I don't have a passport right now, but I need you to go to Japan right now. Like, I need you to, like, we're going to buy a first class, like a first ticket out to get you out there. So as I'm being discharged, Manny's getting on the plane, and I knew that there was like a countdown for like when I wouldn't be alone anymore.
Yeah.
So Minna's mom was stepping up and like getting me like rice balls and like just some stuff to munch on and stuff. I'm taking pain medicine. I'm trying to like keep myself together, and I like the hours count down. Like, it's like what 13, 14 hours. So Manny finally gets there, and he walks in the door, and I'm like, hey, like I was so drugged up on medicine. I was just like, hi.
Wow.
Like, what's up? So when he gets there, now we're in the talks of like, okay, can I get on a flight? Like, is it safe for my disc? Will the disc expand as the pressure goes up on the plane?
Right.
So we were like going over options. Like, should we do the surgery there? I need surgery. Like, it's full on. I need emergency surgery, but just where? So we get in touch with the contest and be like, hey, this is the situation. This is what's going on. She really needs surgery, like, as soon as possible. And they're like, okay, well, let's get you a ticket back home. Like, the next day put me on a first class ticket back, got me like one of the beds where they lay down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
there you go. Nice.
I had full escort from the hotel through the airport, first one on the plane, and they didn't even sit me up. They laid me down.
Right.
Like, they laid me down, and I took medicine, and I woke up in the States.
Wow.
And like, all this stuff was kind of a blur. Like, it felt like it took forever, but now looking back, it just feels like a horror movie. Like, that was like some weird story that I keep tell sometimes.
Yeah.
So get to the States. Sorry.
No.
And I think I had like one day to see a surgeon, but I needed a new MRI because the MRI was under a different name. So my team in the States have been organizing this emergency surgery happening, got me hooked up with a really good surgeon as I was coming over on the plane. So when I hit the ground running, they were like, okay, you need to get all this stuff done so that you can have surgery the next day. I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't realize that there was really scary talks happening that was so scary that people weren't telling me. Like texts were coming into Manny's phone of like, she needs to get this MRI. If she doesn't get this MRI, she could be paralyzed on the table. And I'm like, and I didn't know these texts were coming in until one day I got frustrated. I was like, I need to see what they're saying. And I read it and I was just like, okay, I understand why you didn't show me this, you know? Yeah. So surgery day comes and there was kind of like some talks of like, we could have to replace your disc. We don't know what's going to happen. We might have to fuse it. You might have to get replaced. Maybe we can trim it up and you're fine. I'm like, okay, well, if I can just, at this point, skating is not even on my brain. Like,
right.
I'm
surviving.
Surviving, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you know, will I ever walk?
Right.
You know, will I ever like have a venture? Or I didn't realize that like when something like that happens, you're not thinking about like your hobbies and your fun things. You're just thinking about like life and survival and stuff. So, but yeah, I had surgery, super successful, and I walked out.
Walked out of surgery.
I walked out.
Wow.
I walked out
and
of
when you
surgery.
walked out of surgery, what did you? I mean, you just had surgery on your back, like, and you.
Did you notice like
were
the
you
change?
sore? Were you?
Yeah, I could. Well, it was definitely sore. I think I was on a nerve blocker for the first like day, but I could feel my leg.
They wanted you
to
walk out of there, right? Or like,
yeah. I mean, they were like, "Oh, you can stand up." I'm like, "I can stand up." Like, yeah, like you know,
my
can you feel
God.
everything? I'm like, "Yeah, I can feel my leg." I actually, the only thing that I couldn't really do is I had total drop foot on my right foot. So
Ooh. That's what Mike Mo has. By the way.
dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go up on my calf,
Right.
and I couldn't. Every time I'd step, it would roll.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, I couldn't move my toes. So I was able to like walk out very carefully. And so from then pretty much for the next 2 months, all I did was lay down. I just tried to not move. I laid down. I played Zelda a lot.
Yeah. Which one?
I played Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm playing it right now. I love it.
Yes.
Anyways,
It's such a good game.
It's so good. Yeah.
So they kept me occupied for hours, dude. So my mom flew out to help me, help take care of me. That's actually when I cut my hair too. So I had like really long hair before.
Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't like wash my hair or get in the shower. Like I couldn't shower for a really long time. So I was like, dude, whatever. Like hair is gone.
Right.
You know. But yeah, and I have a little scar about this big on my back.
Okay. 2.5 inches, 3 inches, maybe.
3 inches.
Okay.
And so the surgeons went in there and she moved my spinal cord to the side.
How do you do that? That's crazy. That sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sounds painful.
Yeah. And she
that
just
sound right.
she just trimmed my disc. She just like trimmed all the stuff that was all out, and then they basically just sealed me up and they told me not to really like do much.
Okay.
Like I couldn't pick up anything that weighed anything from the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I could like roll out of bed, but I'd have to be really strategic. Like I'd have to roll and then push up and then like crawl.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you could walk though.
I could walk.
Okay.
I could walk. I could walk in small spurts.
Okay.
So I could walk for about 5 minutes and then it would get sore.
What happened with the drop foot? Because Mike Mo that's what kind of ended his career,
Yeah.
was a drop foot. His nerves he couldn't move his foot anymore.
Yeah.
Did the nerves come back?
Yeah. So your nerves, if you take care of it, they grow about 1 millimeter a day. So very little over time, 1 tiny millimeter each day.
Okay.
And so I had trauma from my spinal cord. So basically like when it was pushed, it like retained some of that trauma. Like my nerves were like, what's happening? So basically I just started with PT. Like I had to just focus on wiggling my feet, wiggling my toes, and then once I could wiggle my toes, I started picking up marbles from a ball, from the floor and into a bowl. I'd have to like take a towel and scrunch it up with my toes. I could do like, the bands you put on your ankles and you're supposed to do that. I could only do one, and then that was it.
Wow.
So it was every day I kind of like meditated a lot. Like I like would lay there and think about my nerves like coming together, like growing visually in my brain, and like kind of believing that it was going to come back. And yeah, just slowly over time, it was returning back to normal. The only thing that I have left is like the top of my foot's really numb. Like if I scratch it, it doesn't feel right.
Okay.
And then I can't quite go all the way up on my calf. Like I can just go halfway, but like not all the way.
Okay. Is it on your right foot or left foot?
My back foot, dude. My pop.
Your pop foot.
Yeah, my
Okay.
pop.
Has it affected your skating that you've noticed?
Actually not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch flips are still there.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
Nollie
it,
flips are
yeah.
still there.
Yeah,
It just took a lot of work. Like I could barely ollie up onto like a little ledge like this big.
Okay,
So
wow.
I had to really train like my pop back and get it like, dude, it took so much time. I remember I lived and breathed PT. Like in the morning, lunch, dinner, every day. Morning, lunch,
Wow.
dinner. I was taking like stuff for like bone and nerve health. I was doing a lot of PT. There's actually a sports academy up here in Thousand Oaks. It's where Paul Rodriguez
Yeah.
trains at.
Okay.
They,
Dr. Eddie.
yeah, oof, they're amazing, dude. And they just helped put me on a program. So I was going up there like 3 times a week and doing all that stuff. Yeah, and
Damn.
I had staples in my back. And
Sheesh.
and I worked my ass off, and at 6 months I was back at an Olympic contest.
That's
Damn.
amazing.
Yeah.
This is what I don't
Straight up.
understand about chiropractic. No, I'm serious because
Yeah.
I've gone in before. I've done the chiropractor thing. I'm not a fan of it because I don't understand if you're hurt or you're doing. How do you know? How does that person know? They're not taking X-rays before you go in and
Yeah.
making sure that your whole spine or whatever they're working on is okay for them to yank
Yeah.
and crack and do whatever. And I'm not saying.
100%.
Listen, it's great for some people. I'm sure it works, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I had gotten my back adjusted since I was a little kid.
There you go, right?
I loved it. I loved chiropractors. I always like stood by them. But now I realize that, okay, like if you have a problem, you should always go get it x-rayed before like, and especially with skaters, dude, we're always like, yeah, I'm good. Just rub some dirt in it. You know, like,
Right.
yeah, oh, it's just a sprain.
Just
when
smoke
we're like,
some weed, man.
yeah,
We're good.
like skaters get broke
No,
off.
I know.
Like, and I didn't know. So I think that like if I knew I had an underlying like bulge disc, then maybe like if they would have known, they probably wouldn't have done that.
No, 100%,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
So-
But they don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
if anything's lingering that long, there's probably a problem. So
Yeah.
you should probably go get some sort of X-ray or MRI.
yeah, I always
know
tell
what I
people if you're really, really having a problem, go get it checked
Yeah.
first,
Right.
and then go to the chiropractor. It can mess people up if like maybe you have scoliosis and you didn't really
You
know,
don't know. Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
or
yeah.
so yeah, just be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
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 But I do think chiropractic is good for people who
I
like,
think so, too.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. I just don't understand how
Well, it's like you got a problem, you go straight there.
Yeah,
It's
like oh, my
that-
back
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
to the chiropractor. Like, what if
Yeah.
something's seriously wrong?
And I learned that like
Right.
most people have bulged discs and herniated
Yeah.
discs, and it's just whether or not that is touching your spinal
Oh.
cord. That's when you'll know.
Oh, you
Like,
think I got a bulge disc right now?
probably?
Shit.
No, hey, dude,
I
have
need
a
to go to
problem.
chiropractor.
You guys have seen me in here, dude. Sometimes I could barely even move, but it's also something like you think it's just right here, but it's the other things in your leg.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
glutes are like mad. My glutes are mad weak, so then that's what creates all this crazy pain.
Yeah.
And you're like, you don't know that stuff.
Bodies are so complicated, dude,
Yeah.
and backs suck.
Yeah.
They suck. But
Yeah.
the cool thing is, I have hardly any residual pain from it.
That's amazing.
Like
That's amazing.
If you would have talked to me like a year ago, what I thought I could be able to do, I would not have said I could do this again.
Right.
And yeah, I can bend, I can twist, I can pick stuff up. The only thing that maybe happens sometimes, like if I jump down something for a while, like it'll get sore the next day.
Okay.
But for the most part, so when I first started skating, they were like, "Don't take any slams on your tailbone," and I was like, "Oh God, like how am I gonna do
Good
that?"
luck. Yeah.
Yeah, and but then I went to that contest and I slammed on my tailbone,
Ooh.
and I was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Plus.
Do
Sometimes
you
gotta
go
try it out?
about do you go about skating differently now? Like, do you have like a warm up process? Do you go stretches like that you used to never do?
yeah, I live for warm up. I live for making sure I'm stretching, doing PT regularly. I do a really good warm up session before, like I'll make sure my back is nice and moving good. Like, I'm like kind of prepared to take slams. Like I'll focus on my mobility. And as far as skating, it has kind of changed the way I approach stuff. Like for me, I don't want to hit a 12-stair rail, you know, because I might have way more to risk than what I used to before. So now I just take in consideration that, like, okay, maybe I'm a more techie skater. I'm fine with that. You know, I would love to do a kickflip back tail or something.
There you go.
Like that, you know, like
go.
Lower to the ground is nice.
Lower to the ground.
Or we can go back to Burnside. And we
Yeah.
could practice some knee slides, you know?
Totally. That just because I can't hit, like, it's not that I can't. I don't want to risk putting myself in a risky situation like that again, and like risk my life. So yeah, I'm like, I'll be like a Shane O'Neill, or I'll be like super steezy, and that doesn't define me as a skater. It just means that, like, you know, these other girls, they can hit all this stuff without knowing of any of the consequences. Now I feel like I know the consequences of what could go wrong, and I just try to make sure can skate and enjoy my life and try to like push where I can in my means.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I see like P-Rod. Like this is something I don't do, and I gotta work on. I'm going to physical therapy on Thursday, actually, starting it. Yeah. But when you see Paul or even like Manny too, like they full on have crazy stretches every single time, and it's a whole process.
Yeah.
When I'm just like, all right, let's put my
Let's go
board down.
skate.
Yeah. It's kind of. I'll pump on the core pipes and go back and
Do
forth.
a couple shove-its.
Yeah.
Get my body going.
No, I do like a lightweight, like, you know, stretchy, but I don't like really get like that much time into it to like, you know, where I'm going to feel that much better, you know? I just get out and I'm just so antsy. I want to just skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a good 20 to 30 minute warm up process, and it's dialed, like do this, do that, and I have like I feel a little OCD with it. Like I try to make sure anytime I skate, I'm doing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I just want to make sure I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And
Well, you went through a crazy, not only just what happened to you, but being in a different country and you can't communicate to doctors, and
That's scary.
they're telling you one thing, and your other doctors are telling who you trust more over here. Your doctors are telling you something else. It's like I couldn't even imagine going
really
through
scary.
that, and then getting on a plane and like.
It was so strange. I had such a funny feeling when I was going to the contest, and it was the first contest I'd gone to alone, no support, no nothing, like just going on my own, you know. And
Funny, like you got to listen to your gut.
yeah, and I
sometimes, right?
even thought, like, what if there's an earthquake tomorrow? And it happened.
happened.
And I'm like, dude, this is so weird. Like, but
Wow.
yeah,
How big was the earthquake?
it was like pretty rumbly, bro.
Oh, it was rumbling.
it was rumbling.
That's big.
It was a rumbler. I'm going to tell you.
It was enough. It was,
It was enough
big
to
enough.
scare me, dude. Yeah, I was, and like
crazy.
I didn't realize that Japan's totally built for like earthquakes. Like when the building sways, it's not going anywhere, but
Right,
it
right.
definitely feels swayy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm actually just so blessed that you know I have like the people to help me get all that stuff worked out, and then like my mom, Manny at the time, like I had a really good support system and everything. I think even as bad as the situation happened, everything worked out in a good way.
I mean, look at you now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I just punched these things.
Break the headphones. Can't break those skull candies.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indestructible.
No, it's cool, and you know it taught me a lot about like taking care of my body,
There
and
you go,
I grew up a lot in the not grew up, but you know I learned how to occupy myself without skating, you know? So I think whenever things start slowing down, I have a lot more to offer myself other than just skating, you know?
Yeah.
Like kind of like prep me for when maybe skating might like when I'm older, you know?
Sure.
So I think I could survive without my board.
You
I
gotta,
don't want to, but I would like.
Yeah.
Some people can, you know.
You got a lot of years ahead of you, though. You
Think
know,
so?
yeah, of course.
Am I younger?
Yeah, look at 100%. I mean, listen, you're getting new sponsors. That's
Yeah.
that's
That
a
means
that's
a
a
lot.
That's a sign.
that's
yeah.
a sign.
Yeah.
Sick.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any new sponsors. I haven't gotten a new sponsor in a long time.
And it's a good sponsor that's been around for years.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
legacy. You know what I
I'm-
mean?
I'm
So that's
really
really
excited.
dope.
Yeah.
And again, a full circle moment for you based on that being your first board.
Yeah.
So
Thanks. Yeah, it's been cool. Like Powell, Rob from Rob Washburn also came around too, like picked me up for Bones, and
Sick.
Vern has been like supporting me from the beginning too, like gave a good word to DeVille. So I think there's some good stuff going on, what a wild ride.
I love it. And
Yeah.
you're still going. I mean, yeah. Just one thing that just don't email or call Vern on a weekend.
Okay.
Don't call him after 6 p.m.
Okay.
Don't
5
email
p.m.
him. 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe the.
Mornings.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting older too. It may even be like 3 p.m. now
I
before his
love
dinner.
Vern.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Siesta.
saying? He's dinner.
He's an OG shit talker, dude.
No, I know.
Like,
I know.
But with the
he's-
best heart.
He told me if I emailed him on the weekend, he'd block me.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
only thing that I don't get. Like, you shouldn't have. Turn off your notifications
That's
for
what I
email.
say. That's what I
All
say.
day.
I think
All day.
Like,
I think Vern's
that's
just-
easy.
He's
Or
just,
just answer it Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Turn it off.
do you really need your email notifications on? You know,
No,
come on,
it's cool.
Vern.
Yeah, just
Let's get
open
it
that
together,
email
bro.
on Monday. You'll catch
I-
up for the
I
last 2
actually-
days. You're good.
I met Vern in the booth of Pizzanista. Like he was
yeah?
like my first sponsor when I came to LA. Wasn't a
Wow.
Pizzanista. I was working there at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Vern is
yeah.
he's a piece of work. That Vern.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to be
Yeah.
something, huh?
Great guy.
Every time I see him, man, I give him shit, bro.
Of course, you
You
should
have to,
Yeah.
bro.
But no, he's an amazing person.
He's
yeah.
great.
He's picked me up and drove me around to spots, and
Yeah.
been a great guy. So yeah.
Well, this has been incredible.
Wait,
Thank
I
you
have
for
so much
sharing
stuff to
your.
tell you.
What do you got? What do you got? Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
What do you-
what do you-
No, this has been incredible.
Thanks.
Your journey and everything that's been going on and everything to come. It's
Yeah.
great.
Thanks. I
incredible.
I appreciate it. You
Yeah.
know, I discovered my why to skate, prove odds. Yeah, my coming into LA was also really interesting. I just moved down here randomly one time and tried to live out of my car and
You
bounced
lived
around.
out of your car?
Dude, I lived out of my car and I worked at Pizzanista and I was in college. I was
Wait a minute. Did you go to
surviving.
community college or
I
were
was
you
going
just
to community college
okay?
at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So in my hometown, crazy enough. So my dad's my best friend, but also we had some stuff going on. So I just took my book bag and my skateboard. I jumped out my window, and I just enrolled myself in college and lived with a family friend for a little bit. And that was kind of the kickstart of getting out of the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was at the time rough, but now when I look back, I was like, dude, this was the most amazing push for me to try to
Yeah.
do my own thing. So I did go to a 4-year college there in South Carolina for
Huh.
1 year. Yeah.
You went to a 4-year for 1 year.
4-year for
Okay,
1 year,
okay.
a nice university for 1 year. And then I went down to Florida, went there, and I was working at Spot.
Wait a minute. Did you graduate high school?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. High school.
Good for you.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
yeah.
Well, how would you not graduate high school and try to go to college?
You could do that.
Yeah,
You can
you
go to
get
community
your
college.
You get your
Okay.
GED.
All right.
There's ways to do
I
it.
guess I never
There's
thought
other
about it.
ways.
Right.
Yeah. No, I had good grades. I actually got into school. I was really proud of myself, and I was working. At this point, skating was not even on my mind for any of that stuff. So, but yeah, I went from there. Spot was a big one. Brian Schaefer's the man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super
Oh, yeah.
sick. The whole Spot family, they were so supportive. And then I went to Portland, Oregon, which is kind of where I got I got on Nike and a bunch of other things. I kind of moved there for college, but then also because it was closer to the West Coast. And I was like, oh, if I can move there, it's easier to get down to California.
And they have a scene up there.
Dude.
They got a scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super big scene.
Yeah.
So I was skating Burnside and all the parks there. It was great summers. We had such a solid crew and so many memories were made in Portland. And then I moved down for 6 months, which is kind of when all that China stuff happened. And then when I came back, I was like, oh, I have 10 parking tickets on my car and I haven't paid rent. I can't afford to live in California. So I just packed up my bag and I went back to Portland. I went from California back up to Portland.
You didn't have anybody move your car? I mean,
Dude,
do you think
my-
about street cleaning?
Dude, my
What's going
roommate
on?
dropped the ball.
Oh
I was
my
surprised my car was
God.
even there.
Right,
yeah.
they tow it.
Dude, I had so many parking tickets and so, but in that 6 months in LA, I was doing online school, working at Pizzanista and skating at the
Wow.
same time. And I was I remember I would get up, go to Hollenbeck, skate, go to a pizzanista, study my break, go to a cafe afterwards to do all my homework and until like whatever time it was late, and then go to sleep and get back up.
But wait a minute. When did your schooling not take a back seat then?
Kind of after China was when.
Oh, when you
I
wanted
knew.
to do the Olympic stuff and all that.
Yeah,
okay.
but it was
makes
really
sense.
it was really because
Makes
I
sense.
went to China and I didn't put the VPN on my computer. I put it on my phone. So then I wasn't able to do any of my online school in China, and I failed that whole semester for my classes. I just called my mom like, Mom, this is, I don't know if I can juggle this
Yeah.
anymore. I think that I want to try and do this and then maybe see where it goes.
Plus,
from
you
there.
have something that's going on in skateboarding that, listen,
Yeah.
a lot of skateboarders don't even graduate high school.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of when everything starts to happen for
Yeah,
skaters. They kind of
teenage
start to
years.
like, go on little tours and sponsors and stuff like that. So, I mean, even you making it that far is pretty good.
We tried.
Yeah.
We tried. I was doing started with like athletic training. I loved athletic training for a little bit, and then I just started doing like business school. So I have like a little associates for
Oh.
like. Oh,
You want to take a look at our books over here, see how
Yeah,
we're
I
doing?
you got a job offer? No, so yeah.
Intern. We can give you
Intern?
intern. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
take
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Yeah. And then back up to Portland, and then right at the end of COVID is when I moved back down
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
And you've been
So-
here ever since?
Yep.
COVID, yeah, okay.
Been here
Now we're
ever
in North
since.
Hollywood.
And now
in the
what?
valley.
Same roommate that didn't move your car?
No, different. She's valid.
Okay.
Yeah, she's super valid. She
Does she
also
skate?
Yeah, she skates.
Okay.
She rips. So we have like this cool little roommate duo going
Nice.
on, and yeah, I'm happy as can be. We got a little Frenchie, and that's about
Oh,
it. I've been
a
traveling
dog?
a lot this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dog.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I love it.
That's my stories.
That's your
There it
story.
is.
and
There
you're
it is.
There it
There it
is.
is.
Sticking to it. No, I love it. I love the journey. I love the. I like hearing about the come up and the. Some people have it easy.
Yeah.
Some people have it hard. It's everybody. We all end up in the same place, but we have
Yeah.
such different journeys to get there.
Mine for sure unfolded a really. I think I was just following my skateboard and just letting it take me.
Yeah.
And like.
which is fine.
Yeah, most people were like, "Whoa, you're from South Carolina. Like, you don't even have an accent." I'm like, I don't think I really fit in there much, so I left.
Right.
South Kakalaki.
There you go.
I could mimic a southern accent. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
amazing. You
do
do
it.
not have the accent at all. There's like not even a word that you say that.
If I have a couple drinks, then yeah, I'll start,
Oh, yeah?
I'll start saying y'all. And yonder. I'm just
Okay.
messing.
Y'all's okay. Yonder.
Yonder,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Nah, it's cool. So
We're gonna skate that spot over yonder over there. Right
yeah, over yonder.
over yonder,
I don't even know what
Dubs.
that meant for a little bit.
Hey Dubs, man, we're gonna go skate over yonder over there, man.
I'm down.
You down? Oh, Dubs
That's
is
perfect.
down.
Wow, you guys could
Dubs
fit
is-
in nice. Yeah.
Blend right in.
We got-
Blend right in.
We're gonna blend right in on yonder over there. I don't
Thank-
know. We
Yeah.
know what we're doing.
Thank you guys.
Wait, no, before,
Yeah,
before
okay.
you go, we want to give you some 9 Club stuff to
Yeah.
take
Oh,
what?
home. We want to,
Cool.
Kelly, we please do the
What
honors.
size t-shirts we rock?
I think I rock a medium.
Medium.
Yeah. Medium.
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 We have a
some
bunch of
stuff.
stuff. If it doesn't fit, we just bring some stuff out. We,
Cool.
we promote our website.
Yeah.
Our
You guys
merch,
have
but
some
we also
cool
want
merch.
to. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw
We're about to
that.
give you some right now.
Nice.
Yeah, some Yeti stuff. You like Yeti?
I have a thing for coffee cups.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, these are like this.
Yeah, Yetis. That's
Oh
the
my
OG
God,
brand.
it's the best.
I don't have a Yeti, so
You don't?
I would
This
use
is
it
Oh,
every day.
we got you. We
Nice.
got you.
Yeah.
And skull candies. We're gonna give you a pair of
Oh,
skull.
what?
Yeah, we're gonna
Cool.
We got you. We got you.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Wait. So you okay? Go
ahead,
Go
no.
on. Oh, I was gonna say you had mentioned filming.
Mm-hmm.
Are you said you had a part ready, or it's coming out, or you're working on something?
I'm
What
working
did you?
on something new now.
Something new.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did film a part before with ice cream.
Yeah. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So now you're working on a new thing.
Yeah, it's my ice cream part got cut short because of my back, which
Gotcha.
sucked. I
Okay.
had so many more things I wanted to film, and I had like this whole checklist. I got about halfway through.
Oh.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm healthy. I'm on a new brand.
Right.
I want to prove myself. Maybe not like the most crazy spots and stuff, but I think I have way more to offer. Or I want to show more and offer more to skating.
Yeah.
And ice cream is cool. They Billionaire Boys Club, they really came through. Like they put me on kind of like after my ACL, and they supported me through that, and then they helped me film this part.
Nice.
Nick Hansen's awesome. Manny got some clips of it too.
Are they still going?
No, they're not. I don't think they knew what direction they wanted to take.
Right.
Because they started, then they came back, and then they tried to do it again, and now
Pharrell tried to like bring the skate team back, but Pharrell wasn't like on like Overtop Ice Cream anymore because he was like on Virgil.
Yeah.
Virgil. And so the skate team just kind of like fell apart. They didn't really know like what to do with it. So, but it was great while it lasted. You know.
Yeah, they give it a try.
And so I had to say bye to ice cream. Which was a big change this year. Like, you know, I realize that it's really nice when you have a check coming in from skating. But if you don't, then you have to figure out what's going on.
Oh, dang.
Wait a minute. This isn't your part, though.
No, this is an ice cream, like, day in the life
we got to
thing.
find the part, bro. We got to find the part. This is a day in the life. What was the part called?
It was The Comeback.
Oh.
The Comeback.
The Comeback.
I know Guy Mariano has the name, but I'm the Comeback Kid ×2.
Ooh. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Times two. Guy, I love you. Yeah. I always give him credit. Make sure.
Yeah.
This is the part.
Yeah.
Tray flip.
Yay.
Nice.
This was like, I was coming back from my ACL. I still had a brace on some of the clips.
How did you bust your ACL?
We went to Puerto Rico on a trip,
Uh-huh.
and it was like the first day of a 30-day trip, and I was trying to do a front lip on this little, this like 5-stair rail, and the first one got bodied, went up to the top, did it perfect, landed perfect, and then I was like, oh, I just want to do one more to set it in my brain, and there's this little kid on a bike coming from the left side, and I was rolling up to the rail, I looked at the bike, looked down, went to pop, and then he cut in, so I kicked it out, and I just went to like run it out, and my leg popped. Like nothing happened. Like people were like, you didn't do anything, nothing happened, and I was like, dude, it felt weird. Like I don't know what happened. And,
were you done for the day? You were done.
Done, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I like totally like tore my ACL. And I mean, it just shows like it's like you just. Sometimes it just happens in skating, you know. I also was trying to learn how to fall at the time, you know, like I was trying to learn how to like bail out of rails and hitting bigger stuff, but I learned not to like plant my foot and just like fall. So that was just like unfortunate, I feel like.
Yeah.
I was like on such a growth right before my ACL. Like I was hitting big hubbas and big rails, like progression was going through the roof, and then so if you guys ever need like ACL advice, I got it.
Okay.
That one's fun, but this one was a walk in the park compared to like the next one came.
God, I don't even want to. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, compared to the back, it's not even like night and day.
Yeah, totally. Like I mean, I wouldn't do it again, but I would say that I would take that one over my back. But yeah, I actually didn't know like when I tore my ACL how many skaters I go through it, because a lot of skaters don't really talk about it when they're hurt, like especially pros.
Yeah, for sure.
They just like hide it a little bit.
Totally. They want to get over it and try to get it healed up as quick as possible.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people are more vocal about it these days.
Yeah.
I think the biggest part why a lot of pros don't talk about it, or especially back then, because they didn't want people to know, so sponsors wouldn't be like tripping.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, this guy's not skating. What's going like?" You know?
Right.
That's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
That's why it was so hush hush.
Trying to keep your job.
But now, people with social media, everyone can make a story out of it.
Yeah,
now.
there's more of a. You can make something out of it. You know,
it's more relatable, to be honest.
For
Because
sure.
so many people get injured and go through this stuff too. They need someone to look at, or not look at, but someone to get advice from.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like now people are realizing, like, as skaters, like, you got to take care of your body a little bit more. So it's getting more popular with, like, all right, maybe we should stretch.
Yeah.
It's definitely way more popular now to take care of your body to skate, so you can have longevity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't realize that a lot of these pros too, like the top dogs, were already doing this long time ago, but they just, it wasn't as popular to show that you were training for this. So
it was like looked at, kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like you're like, what? This dude's like in the gym? What the hell? That's whack.
But then when I talk to some of the guys, they've been doing this for years already. And I'm like,
I mean, there's certain individuals like a Danny Way. Like he's always been like, to me, I've always seen him like working out or gym, but also too because he's always getting hurt. That he was always recovering somehow. So it always make it seem like he was working out or getting, you know.
I always thought like Neen's who's
for
super
sure.
hot guy. Like
for sure.
You know.
But he had to go through it all to come out as that type of guy.
Yeah.
He had to go through the the alcoholism
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's super cleaned up, changed. And
Well, it's been like 10 years for Neen, I would say. Maybe
Something
close.
like that. I don't know.
Between 5 and 10.
I think he hurt his knee too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
in that
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those were guys I looked up to. I mean, of course, like Manny was like a big inspiration too. Like I think at the time when I got hurt, like having someone who was an inspiration like that to kind of be like, hey, if you take care of your body like this, and you know
Right.
you
Totally.
take care of yourself, then you'll reap a lot of benefits from it. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Manny's gnarly too. I forgot.
super gnarly.
He didn't even have both his ankles worked on at the same time, or like
yeah,
reconstructive surgery or some shit.
yeah, yeah.
At the
totally.
same time.
Probably with
Yeah.
his shirt off too. He was-
Hey, on a random note on the Manny
Beast
thing,
shit.
I remember I started laughing the other day because I got my sweatshirt and I tied my little bow. I remembered.
Oh, Dubs has a story. Dubs has a story about.
The loop.
No, Dubs, tell the story. Tell the story. When Manny came up and tied your little.
Oh yes.
It made you look nice.
He tried to make me, spiffing me up a little bit, but I had my hoodie. I had a hoodie on or whatever, and it has, the little drawstrings. And my shit,
Yeah.
they were like a little longer than usual.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking, and he was just talking to me and tied my shit up. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I allowed it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's not too many people that you allow do something shit like that. And Manny is a prime ticket.
Did it all casual. I could see him
He
like.
didn't
"Oh,
even
you
say
good?"
anything. He just grabbed him and started doing it. I was like,
Talking
wow.
to him.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But it was cool.
That's
I mean,
like the homie that tells you have a booger.
All
You know,
day,
you're like,
all
oh,
day.
dude, like fix your
Let me
hair,
just
you know
fix
what
this
I'm
for you.
Yeah.
He saw it was a problem.
saying? Yeah.
He fixed it.
Dang, yeah. We actually did recently, like, we went our own ways.
Yeah.
So me and Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Was that hard?
No, yeah,
It was,
it's been tough. Yeah, like
Well, because you guys are also like skateboarders living in a skateboarding world, and you're what's the word I'm looking for? Like a public. You're
Yeah.
in the public's eye,
Dude, yeah,
as
we were
you're in a
like-
relationship like that.
it was very public, and I felt like we were like a Jay-Z and Beyonce in the skate team, you know, like, but I think at the time it was great, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes I think we were at two different parts of our career,
Right.
two different parts of our lives too. So as skating kept going, we were able to meet here, but then as our lives that we started to peel apart, because like he's at the prime, like he's using the last bit of his years, and I feel like I'm kind of starting mine, but then also stepping away from being so serious. Like, so we just, he actually, I wanted to talk about it because on the first 10-15 minutes of his thing, he talked about us.
Yeah.
And our rule still stands. Like, if skating ever got in the way of our relationship, then we decided to call it quits.
Interesting.
And yeah, sometimes it'd be like that.
It does.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It
it'd be
is,
like that.
yeah.
But now like it's funny because people are like, "Where's Manny?" I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, and I don't even like take the time to tell him, but like I still have the most uplove and respect for him. It just didn't work out.
Right.
And,
Like, sorry I didn't announce that to everyone, but
yeah,
Yeah.
I did actually. It's weird. I always, I dated people, but I never felt like I didn't want to like, oh, I need to tell people about this.
Right.
But then like this one happened. I'm like, I should probably tell people. Should
Well,
I
'cause
tell
people will start
Maybe?
asking.
But then everybody's not going to see it anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
So
then I
you're
don't
gonna
owe
always have-
anybody or
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. But
So-
people will start asking. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, people are
Yeah.
gonna start
Yeah.
asking. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude, we would be separate. Like when we were together, we'd be separate, and everyone would ask Manny how I'm doing, and
Right,
then everyone would ask me how
right.
Manny's doing. So it's just slowly.
Yeah, I
but
feel like it over time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Slowly goes away.
it's been a
Nonsense.
great time for change. Like I got my own apartment.
Right.
Got like a really amazing. So my roommate, her name is Angie Perone. She skates for like Kingswell.
Okay.
She rips. She's been skating since COVID, and she's like coming up pretty hard on the streets.
Wow.
Yeah, she's filming a part, and but she's Slice from New York. Like she loves pizza. I call her Slice, and I'm Rice because I'm half Asian.
Okay.
So it's like a slice and rice. And we want to film a video part one day. Like
Yeah.
back each other up on some stuff, and like separating from Manny has been cool because I get to go my entirely different route. Like I can be like, I don't have to do the Olympic stuff. I don't have to be like this. It's a little difficult when
Yeah.
someone has such a a hard no name. You know, and trying to make my own name and like person as a skater from that, like, and now I'm realizing that I have my, you know, of course I have my own identity, but I have my own thing, my own identity, my own stuff going on for myself that has been an adjustment, but everything's fine, you know? So it's been a really cool time of change, and like get to go out Barcelona and a new team, and so that's nice.
Sounds like you are in a good place right now.
Definitely.
Okay.
2 thumbs up.
Chilling,
Look at you.
super chilling.
Well, congrats on everything.
Thank you.
First of all, Christiana,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
going to give you a couple
Hands
little
are so
things
cold.
right here. Look at this. As we talked about before, the Yeti. We got to keep hydrated out there.
Yes.
You know, we got the water.
Wanna
Classic
cramp up.
9
9
Club on the
Club,
side,
you know.
okay. Nice, this is good, dude.
It's a good one, right? We
It
got
has a double.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Look at that.
What? Sick.
Isn't that great? Look at that thing.
That's good.
It's good
Like
for
that
your
color?
training.
Is that
Yeah,
a
I
good
do like
color?
the color.
Okay.
It's nice.
Okay.
I need a new water bottle. Thank you.
Get that water bottle. Here's some socks. We got the Stance
nice.
collab that we did a while ago. We have Stance socks for you.
Sick.
There you
Gotta
go.
love Stance, dude. This is
Gotta
sick.
love
Thank
them.
you.
Yeah. We have we formed a new team. We have Nuts and Bolts.
Oh,
That's
cool.
our squad. You're on the team.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got you. Here's your first package.
Oh, I got
It's
some nuts and bolts.
It's Alan. Yeah. It's just hardware. It's just
Sick.
a hardware team.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is
Hey,
it Alan? Is
Yeah,
it
Alan Key.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Packaged by Raj.
Yeah, Roger
Nice.
packaged
No,
them
this is
all.
nice. Look at this.
Personal
Yeah.
touch.
You're on the team though,
Sick.
whether
Thank
you
you.
like it or not.
Oh,
Skull Candy,
Sick.
Hesh, Evo, right there. Look at that. We got
what?
the
Thank
design
you.
on there.
Got the little
Dang, These are
design.
fresh.
You like
dude.
them?
I do like
They're
them.
kind of your steez, huh?
Nice. Yeah, I can rock these. Thank you.
9 Club hoodie also. Look
Ooh.
at that. We got more stuff in there. So if you don't
Yeah?
like, after the show, if you don't, you want a different color or something, we got you. We got everything right here. But
Sick.
9 Club hoodie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Gets cold out there in Barcelona, when next time you go. And we got the you like the light blue?
I do like the light
Light
blue.
blue?
Nice.
Night
Baby
blue,
blue.
night
This big
baby
orange
blue.
square. This is nice.
Yeah, like I said, we got other stuff. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We're gonna hook you up. We got the 9 Club shirt here for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stickers. Well, we have stickers. We'll give you
Oh, yeah,
stickers.
sorry. Yeah. I'll give you stickers after the show.
Yeah, after the show, we'll get you some stickers. Because we do give
what do we need those stickers for?
photo incentive.
Thank you, by the way, for even. So when I posted that story, it was totally a joke. Like my friends were like, "Oh, you should post because I did the questions thing."
Yeah, a little on Instagram, little story,
and they were like,
little
"Oh,
questions.
we'd love
Yeah.
to see you at 9 Club."
Yeah.
And I was like, "They're like, oh, you should post it and tag Chris and,
Yeah.
and 9 Club," and I did it. And then you messaged back, and I was like,
I was like, let's
like-
do it.
"Oh no, really?"
Well, here's the thing.
You put it out there.
Well, here's the thing, because like here's
Cool,
the
though, so
answer.
thank you.
sometimes like we hit. Well, thank you for coming also, but I don't know. It's a weird because we hit up people, we DM people, but it's always nice when somebody wants to come on the
Yeah.
show, right? It makes
Cool.
it so easy, right?
Yeah.
Because other times we have to hit them up, and it's like, oh, you want to.
When are you
The date and this
free?
and that and some people just aren't ready, right?
Yeah.
Also, so you get denied sometimes too, right? I mean, it's
I
the
mean,
whole
yeah,
thing,
it's
you
just
know?
some people, it's like, it's not the right time
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Or it's not the right time at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Depends.
I hit up somebody the other day and they're like, hey, I appreciate it, but not right now. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
communication, right?
sure.
At least tell me when the door's always open.
Or sometimes doing podcasts is hard, like.
Yeah,
like,
people
talking-
overthink it, I think.
That's the main
but,
thing. That's the overthinking.
but it's so
So
nice
you
when
can
somebody's
more-
like, hey, I want to come on. You're like,
Well,
come
it's so
on
cool.
in.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, that definitely. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sick. Like, I had a whole thing like, am I an imposter? What am I doing? Like, what am I going to talk about? I was like, no, I have things to talk about. So
No,
it'll be
we
fun.
got-
Hell yeah,
No.
dude. That was, your stories are
Yeah.
pretty gnarly. I was not expecting the whole, just, it was funny, like hearing your come up and you're still doing your thing, but to be involved in the Olympics and all that stuff already at like that level with like the coaching side and skating, it was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that from anyone in my entire
Sick.
life. Yeah,
Thanks,
so
Kelly. I
crazy.
appreciate
You're doing a great job.
Thanks. And hopefully, I'll film something badass and then I can give you guys an update.
Come back the door's always open.
Sick.
Come back anytime you
Big
want.
time, for sure.
Yeah. Christiana Means.
Yes.
What's up? Thank you guys. Let's go.
Good shit.